end of time.
O'clock.
Hey everybody! Look, I didn't push the starting soon thing again.
Yeah.
Like I've been doing the last couple times, like a dumbass. But yeah, look at Pookie is up in Daddy's lap.
Yeah, she wants
at the
me to
beginning
scratch
of the
her face.
show. She's as soon as we're getting ready to do the show, she comes in here and sits down, and then she starts pookling around like underneath the chairs, and it's like, hey, pay attention to me.
I got my new biker vest on.
Yeah, see, Tom's new, but it's actually really nice. It's like it's very good quality.
Yeah, it was like fucking $200, fucking delivered.
Yeah, well, it's leather, right?
Yeah, it is from Germany.
Yeah,
big thick fucking cowhide, and I wore this shit to the fucking Oasis tonight down at the biker bar. They're like, oh yeah, that's a good one. There. show you, it's got fucking clips.
Yeah, see, nice. He's gonna wear that out Saturday. I'm reckoning.
Yeah, that's a good.
Along with your new vinyl pants.
Yeah,
that you got.
Yeah.
You got new vinyl pants too.
Yeah, because
you're gonna look all.
Yeah, all leather daddied out and shit.
Daddied
All I need
out.
is my fucking hat on.
You should wear that too. You should just
Yeah.
go full gay, Tom.
I'm gonna go full gay. I'll be the straightest gay man out there. The gayest straight man out there.
Embrace the gay.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. It does look good though. And the vinyl pants look good too. Like as he got one size and they were too big. They still looked good, but they were
my
slightly
size.
Baggy.
They were my size.
He had to.
But I undersized them bitches, so they were fucking tight. Then they looked really good.
Yeah.
You see, I was
returned
going
the bigger one. The bigger ones fit me, but they didn't. They were real high waisted.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of cut for a dude.
I sent that shit out back.
So he went today and sent him back.
I was gonna get leather, but the more I researched it, as I was looking at fucking other fucking dudes from bands and shit to find out exactly what they were wearing. They wore vinyl because the leather fucking rips.
Yeah.
It's not strong enough to last over time. At least with the pants. So I said, okay, well, I'll just go for vinyl. And they got some for decent. The higher end vinyl ones fucking look pretty good. They're hot though. That's the only problem.
Well, yeah, it's Florida.
But they're real durable. That's the reason why I got them. They won't just fucking rip. Real leather ones will rip right the fucking crotch and the seat.
Then all your shit just be dangling out.
Yeah.
Not that you would, Karen, because you're just kind of like.
If they're tight and they look good, they're gonna rip.
Yeah.
Because leather isn't flexible, and they rip right where the fucking seams are.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah.
All your bits would be dangling.
Yeah. What I wanted some fucking pants like Billy Idol had in the White Wedding video. And if you look at them, it's like a reptile pattern.
Yeah, like it looks like alligator print. Like an alligator print.
Yeah, it's not real. It's a print.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been because I like the bringing back the '80s shit. But you could do that so much better now. The material's so much better. I thought it was leopard print. Black on black leopard print, but it's not. It's
not quite. It looks more like alligator.
I tracked down photos of it. It's alligator.
Yeah.
But it's very stylized alligator print.
It's like matte. It's like shiny on matte.
Shiny on matte.
Yeah.
It looks like it may have been done with a fucking hot iron. Like, you know what I mean? Like
possibly. I'm not really sure how they do those.
Yeah, well, some of that shit was just one of a kinds done in a studio.
Yeah, true.
And you can just take a hot shape and get it hot with it, you know, and press it, and it'll make vinyl. It'll make it smooth. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever done that before?
Yeah.
Yeah, you press a hot iron to any textured vinyl, it'll fucking flatten it out and make it smooth.
Yeah.
And give it a different. And I think that's how it was done. It did. I don't think it. Maybe it did come off of a fucking roll like that. I have a feeling it might have been done by hand.
Maybe. CB said, Tom and Jenny, you should swap tops. LOL.
Yeah, Jenny, wear this shit with fucking her.
I don't think that would fit over my boobies.
Yeah. It barely fits over mine.
Or it would squish them flat.
I got the fucking Rotha Khan fucking shit going back in the week. Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be a good. Well, he was kind of skinny though. Like
fucking no.
Wiry.
Well, he was taller than me. But fucking.
But you could do that
Ricardo
too.
Montalban worked out.
He did, yeah. But I was gonna say he was like more wiry than jacked.
Yeah.
At least from what I remember.
In that Star Trek flick, I remember him fucking looking great with great pecs and shit. You go back and look at it now, and he looked good for the times. But for his age, I guess you could say he still looked good, but he was definitely natural. He wasn't enhanced. You know what I mean? Fucking, I'm about the same age as he was back then. And I'm fucking bigger. But
yeah,
I could do that I'd have to get a wig and shit and get that outfit. Kirk, I'm 5 times your strength. Twice your intellect and 5 times your strength. The fucking augments, man. They were the shit. Those fucking great characters, man. They were really good in fucking Star Trek Enterprise. They got more into the augments and what they did. Genetically engineered superhumans.
Zach says, here's what would look cool on you, Jen. An all-black tuxedo with lots of cutouts. That might actually look good, yeah.
Yeah.
I could rock something like that, I think. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do for Halloween this year.
Yeah.
So, I might go back to my Constance Hatchaway idea, from the Disney Haunted Mansion. But, I don't know, we'll see.
DVD drag instead of Tom's arms getting any bigger, Trump's going to put tariff on them.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Be
funny.
$300 extra.
Yeah, I gotta pay Trump more money. It goes to the fucking goes into the fucking till. Yeah.
Goes into his pocket.
Goes into his pocket.
So he can
Zach's
buy more
here. What's
gold
up,
shit.
Zach?
Yeah, Zach's here.
Zach likes
I
the
saw a
fucking
movie
vest.
once, and an actress had a weird lip on her dress. A weird lip on her dress that gave an affect like it was pouring her boobs out. Oh, I see. Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm sitting there going like, "What are you talking about?"
I don't
Like,
really understand.
I can kind of, I kind of understand what you're talking about. But yeah,
Tonight's gonna be a good show about a serial killer.
an unapprehended serial killer.
Yeah.
They think.
Yeah.
This was kind of a weird one because I had never heard of this individual or individuals. It might be more than one. No one's real sure. But somebody, and I can't remember who it was, but I think it was on one of the Friday night Sidetracks live streams, said, "Oh, you should do a show about that serial killer that called Howard Stern."
Yeah,
And
I listened to it.
And I was like, who the fuck was that? I don't remember that. Happened back in the 90s. It was like in
Yeah.
97. And so I listened to it last night. I listened to the whole segment. And I'm not sure. Do I think that guy was the serial killer? I'm not sure.
Is that what the show's about? It's about that guy?
It's about, well, we don't know if it's
They
that
don't know
guy.
if it's that guy? All right.
But they're speculating that guy that called may have been this guy because this guy, they never caught him.
Yeah.
That they know of.
You see, when Jen talked about the serial killer that called in to fucking Howard Stern, I was like, I must have missed that one. But I went and looked it up and listened to that, and I did hear it. I remembered that. What year was that?
97.
97, yeah.
It was 97.
I remembered that dude calling in. I was working at the time. I listened to that on the radio. And I thought maybe it was real. And I listened to it again, and there's a chance that could be a real serial killer.
I'm on the fence about it.
Yeah.
It's like, it could just be... Oh, we got a super chat from Bee's Nest. Thank
What's
you
up,
very
Bee's
much.
Nest?
Sending some
Thank you,
flashbulbs. It could be just a guy kind of like showing off, although he didn't seem...
No, he's a little understated.
Yeah, he was pretty low-key.
Yeah.
He wasn't like self-aggrandizing or anything like that. And some of the stuff that he said did line up with some of the crimes
That were never solved.
and I'm not real sure, like back in 1997 we had the internet obviously, but it wasn't like it is now, so I'm not sure how easy it would have been to obtain that information as it is now, because now it's like you could just look up a serial killer that wasn't caught yet, and if you were that serial killer you could just, or you weren't that serial killer, you could just call up and be like, yeah, I did this, that, and the other thing, because it's all over the fucking internet, right?
And I
You
think
could
he
just
said
claim
he
that
was. I think he said it was around New Orleans, wasn't he?
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah, and I think the guy who called in Howard Stern said it was around New Orleans area. I think.
Yeah, that's why they
Yeah.
think that it was maybe this guy, but no one's really sure. The weird thing about this is that they're not sure because, okay, number of victims is a little ambiguous. They're like, it's at least 12, but could be as many as 27. Some of them are unidentified, like they found the bodies, but they don't know who they are. Now, one of the victims who survived described
a black guy.
a black guy.
Yeah.
But the dude that called
Sounds
and
like
a
a
dude
white
that they called that they got for one of the murders
Yeah.
was a white dude.
Yeah.
So nobody's really sure if it's two guys or like if neither one is the killer or if both of them killed separate people. Like no one's really sure.
Well, there were more
what's
than one.
going
There
on.
was more than one serial killer in New Orleans around that time because they caught that other guy who was fucking busting into women's houses. Remember him? Black dude.
Yeah.
He would knock on the door and ask to use the phone. He'd say, I can't let you use the phone, and he'd fucking barge in.
Yeah. Well, this is a different MO though.
Yeah.
Like they think a lot of them. I mean, it could be more than one person, but the MO in them is like very similar.
Yeah. But that guy who would barge in, maybe he would go after an occasional prostitute through his car though too. They didn't. You know, serial killers don't use the exact same MO all the time. They kind of evolve.
They do have patterns, but
They
yeah,
kind of evolve over time, and it could have been what's his name, Laveau maybe? No, what was that dude's name?
I don't remember.
Fuck.
We haven't done.
I can picture him.
We didn't do a show about it.
I don't
did
think we did a picture. I can picture him. That I think they caught him around 2005, around 2005, I think.
Now, see, the one guy, the black guy that's still a suspect, as far as I know, he's still alive. Like, he's not in jail or nothing like that. The white guy, he got caught and convicted of one of the murders and was put in jail, but he's dead now. Like, he died in 2014.
Yeah.
Whether that was the same guy that called Howard Stern, whether the guy that called Howard Stern was the actual killer, whether the guy that got convicted of that one murder was the actual killer of all the other ones, nobody is entirely certain.
Well, what was funny about the Howard Stern caller is that he in the recordings, he was kind of laughing that a couple of the ones that he killed, a black guy, a cop, was getting blamed for him.
Yeah, he was one of the main suspects, was the cop.
And it does sound like the same killer.
Yeah, some of the
And
shit
I don't
that
think
he
he would have
said,
known about that.
some of the shit that he
Maybe.
said, that's what I don't know. Like, because like I said, he called in 1997, and I don't know how much access people had to that information, like some of the shit that he said. Like, he
Yeah.
didn't say anything super, super, super specific, but he did, like, say some details that kind of made me think, because I had read about some of the murders and stuff, and I was like, oh, that kind of sounds like that one, or that kind of sounds like this other thing, like, so I don't know how easy it would have been to access that information in 1997 as it would be now, because it'd be way easier to prank it now, because you could just look up all the details.
There in '97 there were serial killer groupie websites
Yeah,
of people keeping
like I
track
said,
of
there
shit.
was obviously we had internet
Yeah.
in 1997. It wasn't as
It wasn't as interconnected. It wasn't as
yeah,
easy to access.
it wasn't as easy to access information as it was nowadays.
And another thing that was about the Stern caller is that he's saying that he was in the New Orleans area, but I'm listening to his voice and he's Yankee as shit. He doesn't sound like a Southerner.
Well,
Doesn't
that's
make
what's
sense.
interesting
And
is that
that's the way the suspect was like that.
the white guy
Yeah.
that they got for one murder and who subsequently
Yeah.
died was not from New Orleans originally. He was
Just
originally
moved.
from Ohio.
That sounds about right in the by
So,
the voice.
Yeah, because he didn't sound like he was a New Orleans native. I mean, everybody's got different.
No.
I mean, people probably say I don't sound like a Florida native either, even though I was actually born here.
No,
But-
black dudes from the South or from New Orleans have a fucking very distinct Southern accent. There's a lot of French influence in there, and there's certain pronunciations that they do. This guy didn't have it. And then the white dudes from that area sound like they're from New York because they do kind of have a New York accent because it got colonized. New Orleans got colonized by a lot of New Yorkers way back in the 1930s. They've had that, and it's kind of a weird accent in New Orleans. It's like a mixture of stuff. It sounds Southern and New York and French. It's bizarre.
Yeah,
I never lived there, but I partied there. I lived in Bay St. Louis or past Christiana, Mississippi, just an hour away, And I would drive down to French Quarter every weekend, go to the goth clubs, go to the Crystal and shit. And so I know that area real well. And you can tell fucking Cajun, a coon ass, which is the same thing, or or an Italian based dude out of New Orleans. There's a certain fucking New York sound that they have, and dudes from the Ninth Ward and D'Iberville projects, fucking, they have a distinct Southern dialect, and it's just that's not who was on the phone. Fuck no. Not even close. Ohio, Michigan. That's what that dude sounded like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, like I said, the guy that called the Howard Stern show, like, he didn't have a super discernible accent. None that I
Midwest
recognized, but yeah, it could have been Midwestern. But like I said, the guy that that they got for one murder and possibly did the other ones, or some of the other ones, was originally from Ohio. But he did move to New Orleans, I think in the 60s. I don't know. Like I said, I listened to the call, and Howard seemed to think that it was probably like a lark at first. But they kept asking him questions, and then like after he hung up, like he was just like, nah, I think that dude was maybe the real deal. Now, he did get accused later of making the whole thing up, like having somebody call in, like having one of his friends call in, like as prank, like just for ratings or whatever. But I don't know. Like the FBI was interested enough to like try to track that dude down, which is one of the things that helped them catch the dude. But
they're asking me if anything's on the back. No, there's nothing on the back.
No, not yet.
I was gonna probably sew in a couple of like Pegasus wings from Buell. Pegasus wings, baby.
Yeah, he's got that on the back of his
I got them on back of my
on
other
his
jacket.
motorcycle jacket. Has these big like Pegasus wings on the back.
Yeah. It's like each one's got a big fucking white wing with a horse head coming up on top of it. It looks real good.
Yeah, it's cool looking. But yeah, that would look cool on the back of that too.
Yeah, it was a Brazilian Buell motorcycle club made them for me.
Yeah.
Because I was shipping them parts a long time ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot you were doing that because you were like the one dude that could speak.
Yeah, they made me an
they could
American.
speak Portuguese. And like,
Yeah, I was the only fucking dude that could speak Portuguese or speak Portuguese and English and help them, and a fucking Brazilian motorcycle gang sent them to me.
CB said, I've said it before. Serial killers like this are the ones that masturbate to their mom or sister or both. Yeah, this guy, the guy that called the Howard Stern show, I don't know if he's really the killer or not, or if he was just fucking around. He did say that, he didn't say he was in a relationship at that point, but he said he had been, I don't think he said he'd been married, but he was like in a long-term relationship and had a couple of kids, but they had since broken up. And they kept asking him, like, why did you do it, or whatever, were you abused as a child, all this other kind of stuff, and he said no. He said he didn't really have any, he didn't really know why, he said. He said, I don't know, I was just bored.
Yeah.
And so he started doing this kind of stuff, and they had a psychologist come on, that was kind of a, criminologist, like serial killer expert type of thing, and asked him, because Howard had asked him, well, did you kill small animals as a child? And he said no. He's like, well, I killed a rat one time, but it's like, that doesn't...
It was a nutria, though.
A nutria, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's like that. It wasn't like exactly the same thing.
Not really
It's
a rat.
not really the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a big ass rat.
It's a rat-like creature.
It's a rat-like creature, but it's much larger.
Yeah.
But they're kind of an invasive species, so actually they eat them down there sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're into that. And they asked him, actually the psychologist asked him, did you wet your bed, all through your childhood? And he said no, but he said, did you start fires? And he said yes. So he was looking for that triad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cruelty to animals, wetting the bed, and arson, which are kind of the three red flags of like serial killers, like when they were a kid and stuff. But he said, according to him, that he only had two. He did admit that he had set fires. He didn't specify, but he's like, oh yeah, like he set fires and shit. So, but he didn't.
One time we were doing a
into
show, and I said, "Why do these buggers wet the bed? What? They don't want to get out. They're scared to go take a leak or something. They're little kids." And somebody on the show dropped in the comment section and answered it perfectly. We can't remember what it was.
And now I'm so mad
And I'm
because
like,
it's like the person that answered, I was
It
just like, oh,
perfect.
obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
But now I forgot what.
I forgot what it
I
was.
forgot what it was.
It made perfect
I
sense.
mean, I'm sure I could probably look it up. I should
Yeah.
probably look. You know what? I'm gonna write it down.
I did though.
because
I looked up on fucking Grok why, and it gave me some cockamamie long explanation that wasn't succinct and fucking was vague.
Well, I'll maybe I'll have a better look.
Whoever it was just fucking immediately just nailed it. Well, cause this and that. And I was, oh yeah, that's right. I didn't.
Yeah, because whoever
made
answered it in
total
the
sense.
chat, and I
Yeah.
can't remember who it was, I was just like, oh, duh. Like, why didn't I
Yeah,
think of
why didn't you
that?
think
It
of
was
that?
kind of that, but now I can't remember what it was.
It was a regular too.
It was, yeah. And it was
knew.
it was one of you bitches. I just can't
Yeah,
remember.
one of you all bitches fucking knew
Can't
exactly
remember
what it was.
Tequila says he didn't like Mondays. Yes, much like that Brenda chick that shot up her school.
We make another drink right there.
Yeah.
There we go.
We did a show about her, didn't we?
Yeah, we did a show.
Brenda Spencer, right?
Yeah.
That was her name. The one that
Freaky ass.
the Boomtown Rats wrote
Freaky
the
ass little bitch.
song about. I love that song, actually, by the way. It's on my Spotify. But that was actually how I first heard about her, from that song back in the 80s. She was, it's unusual for a girl to do something like that. But yeah, she just, like, fucking shot at her school. They asked her why. I don't like Mondays, that's what she said. So this guy, or at least the guy that called into the Howard Stern show. Like I said, I don't really know if he's the killer or not. But he did seem very... One thing that kind of made me think that it maybe was, not that he just kind of knew details of stuff, but he just seemed very low-key. He wasn't bragging. He was kind of like... He didn't really have any insight into why he did what he did. He was just kind of like, I don't know, whatever. Like, I just do what I do, you know what I mean? I just get bored and blah-de-blah. And, like, at the point that he called the Howard Stern show, he said, it's been almost a year, like, since he killed somebody. And, so Howard was like, well, are you going to turn yourself in? I know you're probably not going to, but you probably should. And do you think you could stop forever? And all this other kind of stuff. And the dude was like, well, I don't know. Like, he didn't know, you know what I mean? He didn't really seem to be that insightful about it, which kind of made sense. Like, that kind of tracked. Because I kind of feel like that type of serial killer that just goes out and preys on... Because this serial killer, the Storyville Slayer, almost exclusively targeted sex workers. They weren't all sex workers, but a lot of them were.
Black, too.
Mostly black. Mostly women, except I think there were 2 or 3 trans in there.
He didn't know, though. He didn't know.
Well, he didn't know at the time. And according to the dude that called Howard Stern, he's like, he didn't target people specifically. He would wait for one of the sex workers to approach him.
He didn't go after him.
And then, like, because it was almost kind of like, he didn't say this outright, but I thought the implication was that it was like, then you could say, like, the victim asked for it, because it's like they came to you.
Yeah, he said
that's kind of like what he was getting at.
He said he didn't approach them. He said they approached me,
mm-hmm.
and he goes you ever let some of them go? He goes, yeah, I let a couple of them go.
Yeah,
and he says, why'd you let them go? And he goes, I don't know, there's just something about them. He says one of them kind of reminded me of my ex, and I was just like, there was like an innocence to her. I don't think she had been doing it for very long, so I just let that one go.
Yeah, I remember that.
But then he said, well, the ones you killed, why'd you kill them? He goes, well, I would just ask him, do you think it's dangerous doing this? And if they'd like laugh it off like it wasn't a big deal. He said, it'd make me mad and I'd kill her.
Yeah.
He thought that was like an affront to his...
Whatever.
His masculinity or something. Like, so you don't feel any danger around me? Well, I'll fucking kill you. He's like that.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I listen to the same shit you listen to. Like, it's on YouTube if you want to listen to the whole segment.
I think he took that as a slight.
Maybe he did.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he realized that that's how he took it, but it did seem like...
It's like, you didn't see me as a... He's like, you don't see me as a threat. You don't see me as dangerous? I'll fucking kill you.
And like, they just kind of laughed. Because that's the thing. Like, a certain type of dude, if a woman laughs at him...
Yeah, he feels like he's been slighted.
Then he'll get, like, really, really upset.
Like, you didn't take me seriously, huh? Okay.
He'll get really upset.
Yeah, it's like an insecurity or something.
Yeah, that's what it is. It stems from, like, horrible insecurity. And it's like, if you have a woman laugh at you for whatever reason, like, a lot of them get real, real offended.
I remember when that dude called in to Stern. I was working at the time. I was up in Wellesley, in Massachusetts. I was working as a salesman, and I was driving in my car a lot, going from one house to the next, doing calls, service calls mostly. And I'd be fascinated by... That was back when Howard Stern was good. All right, as soon as he got on Sirius XM radio, he went down to fucking tubes. But when he was on terrestrial radio, he just had a real outlaw fucking method, He was always doing shit, getting himself in trouble. You never knew what he was going to do. He was real keyed into what was happening on the internet at any time, so it was kind of... He was having movies come out like fucking... I think it was called Private Parts. I saw that shit. He had a couple of books that came out that were really funny to read. He called himself the king of all media, books, fucking TV, radio. He was, in his heyday, man, fucking really good. And then over time, he just became like Don Imus, which was a dude that he hated, was constantly making fun of, which was some stiff old man. And that's kind of what happened to Howard. I don't know exactly what happened to him.
Everybody gets old.
Became a stiff old man and
it's harder to keep
backed up off of everything. And he just became really fucking lame. Lost his wife and shit. Anyway, I remember the day that guy came on, that so-called serial killer came on, and at first I thought it was bullshit.
I did too.
But then the more I was listening to it, I was like, this dude might be telling the truth.
This dude might be that dude.
Yeah, and I could tell that Howard and Robin, that was his co-host, started to believe him.
Yeah, they started asking him all kind of questions.
It was something, and it was just because the guy was real natural, and he wasn't trying too hard. He was just being
struck me as well.
He was basically just being a normal guest. You know, he was trying to sound normal.
Yeah. Like I said, he wasn't bragging. He didn't sound arrogant or anything like that.
Well, he didn't know why he was calling, because he didn't know why he was doing it.
Yeah. It was just real weird. And they were just kind of like, so no one even came close to catching you? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't, like I said, he wasn't bragging about anything, which is kind of made me believe it more.
Yeah, and he says, have you told anybody else? He goes, no, it's just, I'm the only person you've told this to, right? And he goes, yeah, the only person I've told. Well, he says, no, I told other people, but I killed them.
But they're dead.
Yeah, I killed them.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, some of the girls, I told them who I was, and then I killed them.
Yeah.
We would have this running game. I'd give them a chance to run, and I'd run them down and kill them. What he said. Now,
CB said, did the guy say if he targeted men or women? Now, see, here's what's interesting, because the guy that called Howard Stern said that he targeted sex workers, like they usually came to him and stuff like that. And then he said at one point, like, that he killed one victim, and it's like, oh, turns out they had a penis.
There was two.
And I think there were two.
I think two.
Yeah, and there were actually, I think there ended up being, it was 2 or 3 victims that were trans.
In the suspect that
the suspect that they're talking about, the Storyville Slayer. So I thought that was interesting that he said that one of the ones he killed, he found out. I don't know if he found out after, because usually he would have sex with them and then kill them. Like, have sex with them before, and then he'd be like, oh, by the way, I'm going to kill you. That kind of thing. That was what I got out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't always have sex with them, though. Sometimes he just killed them.
Sometimes he just killed them.
And he didn't really go into detail, but he said, yeah, one of them I found out she had a penis afterwards.
Yeah.
He's like, what? And he goes, yeah.
Which, like I said, that tracks, because a couple of the victims were trans.
And he goes, he says, I didn't know at the time. I thought it was.
They were like exotic dancers and stuff.
Yeah. One of them was a stripper.
I think they both were.
Were they? Yeah. They knew each other, and they knew they were fucking with this cop, and they both died.
Yeah.
And the cop was the suspect. I don't think he killed both. I don't think he killed both. I don't think the serial killer killed both those.
He doesn't live in New Orleans anymore. That cop.
Yeah.
I think he lives in Atlanta now, or that's the last place they knew of him. But the cops have said he's still a suspect. They don't really know.
I don't think he did it though.
Maybe not. Like, he does look like, I don't know. We'll get into that when we talk about.
There might have been a mixture.
Like I said, I don't know if this is all one dude.
Yeah, they might be talking about two different.
They might be talking about 2 different dudes.
Yeah, and the victims are mixed in together. It could have been, but they did find skeletons out in that area that were trans dudes or trans females. That's
trans women. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at least 2 of them. It might have been 3, but I'm not entirely sure. Like, I can't remember all, because there was a lot of victims.
They were black and past this female, so he didn't know, evidently.
Yeah, because like I said, the 2 of them that I'm thinking of were strippers, like exotic dancers.
And he wasn't targeting them because they were black. He targeted them because they approached him. He would just go into the...
That's what he said, because Robin did ask.
Yeah.
She's like, well, or actually, I think maybe Howard asked. He's like, well, is this a racist thing? Like, why are... Because most of the victims are black. Yeah. And he's like, no, it's just like, he goes after sex workers, and that was just the ones that approached him. Those were the ones that were working in the area that he went to.
Yeah. He'd evidently go to the area and hang out, probably in his car. And the women would approach him in the car. And
he just went with whoever
approached
came
him,
up to the car, like he wasn't picky.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Kind of like, in his mind, they picked him.
I think that's how he wanted to frame it.
So it's not like he's hunting them down. They came to him and he killed them.
He didn't say that.
That's the way I picked.
But I think that's kind of what he was getting at.
Yeah,
that's what he was getting at.
As a man, trying to put myself in his shoes, it's kind of like it's in a way a little bit of a flex. You see, didn't have to run her down. They're coming to me.
Yeah.
All right. And which in his mind as a serial killer, it's given him
Like permission. Yeah.
Permission
That's what I thought.
to do his thing.
Yep.
All right.
Because, hey, they came to me, so...
Hey, they came to me, you know, and they should have known.
They should have known. It's dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he was doing.
Yeah. Like I said, he didn't say that, but that was exactly the same.
Right.
That was what I got from it, too.
And he was kind of flexing, in a way. It wasn't bragging, but he was flexing. This is all... Serial killers are serial rapists. They just happen to kill the victim. And they're more into the killing of the victim than the sex. That is part of their sexual... what do you call it?
Experience, their orientation.
Yeah, their sexual orientation is this. So this is a big flex. He's like, he's basically saying, I'm popular with my victims. They choose me.
Yeah, they just come right up to my car.
And that was the same thing.
I don't even have to go get them.
Yeah, I'm hot. They're coming after me. That's what he.
Now this is all predicated upon the dude calling Howard Stern actually being the Storyville Slayer.
I think it was.
No one is sure.
I think it was.
I'm kind of on the fence about it, but there was a lot of shit that he said that I was kind of like, that might be him.
Say what you will about Stern. He was a great entertainer, but one of the things, what was he was a fucking super good fucking interviewer. He knew how to get people to spill their guts. And he had a good sense of when someone was lying to him. And I could tell that Stern bought it. But I was buying it around the time he was.
He did at the end. Like I said,
Yeah,
at
he's
first,
like,
I think he thought it was a joke, as you would.
Right. But he's like, I think that guy was real.
But at the end, like after he hung up, he's like, yeah, I
Right.
think that was like actually the dude.
Yeah, you get more insight to how Stern would size people up, which is a very good fucking skill to have. If you read his book, fucking Private Parts. I think it was called Private Parts.
Yeah.
And that's when he talks about, he never talked about it on the radio show because he was afraid to get sued, I guess. Talks about meeting Michael Jackson and what it was like meeting Michael Jackson and all his handlers and what he was thinking at the time. And he was sized up Michael Jackson pretty well. He turned out he was correct. He was like, well, if you're so caring about the children and you care so much about children, well, where are the fucking little girls? Because it was just nothing but photographs of him with these little boys.
Yeah.
Dressed like him.
Yeah, it's like
that's like a tell.
Like, it'd be like 50-50.
Yeah,
if you actually cared about children as a whole.
Right. Yeah.
It wouldn't just be all boys.
Yeah.
That's a little sketchy.
Why aren't little girls staying over at your place?
Yeah, that is very sketchy.
You know.
I agree.
It was just little boys, and they were all Michael Jackson fans, and they all dressed like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, like I said, that's sketchy as fuck. Like he wasn't interested in little girls. So.
When you have a fucking house that is an amusement park with a train and a Ferris wheel and nothing but little statues of little white little Peter Pan boys everywhere, little statues of Peter Pan and shit, fountains and shit. You're into little boys.
That's a little bit of a red
Yeah,
flag.
fucking yeah. Come on. Oh, stop it.
I think
stop it. You're just ignorant.
As we said on our Michael Jackson show, it's like, look, I'm willing to give the dude some slack because he was raised real fucked up, okay? But
no.
The thing about it is that, and maybe he didn't know any better. I don't know. Like, he was obviously really mentally ill. But the thing about it is, like, if it was any other person, he would be in prison so fucking fast.
Yeah, if he was a middle class dude and
he wouldn't have had to do all of that stuff. Like, there would have just had to be, he would have just been a couple of things, and people were like, "Yep."
Imagine if you have a middle class dude in a regular neighborhood, and he's got a fucking toy train out in his fucking front yard, and all kinds of Ferris wheels and shit, in a house full of fucking video games, and all the neighborhood boys are coming over to play video games with him. You think?
Yeah, everybody would be reporting his ass, and rightfully so.
Dude. Yeah, this fat old
because
dude.
Why would you have that?
This fat old dude's fucking got all these little boys playing with him. And
why
fucking
would
playing
you have
video
that?
games. He's 50.
That's not normal.
No.
That's by any stretch of the imagination.
No, of course not.
Like I said, if it was anybody that wasn't rich and famous, then,
and that shit was going on. That shit was going down when MJ was like in his early 30s. Okay.
Yeah, he had problems.
When you have a fucking multi-millionaire, billionaire dude in his 30s and he's single, his mansion is gonna look like something out of Hustler magazine. It's gonna have fucking statues of nude, big ass, big titty chicks with fucking fountains and shit, and fucking huge ass fucking swimming pool full of fucking strippers. That's what it's gonna look like. It's not going to be a fucking amusement park with a bunch of little boys in it.
Yeah,
No.
that's weird.
Fucking crazy.
That's fucking weird.
It's going to have a whole fucking parking lot, a whole fucking garage full of motorcycles and sports cars. And an airplane, you know. And a lot of single women. That's what's going to be. That's what you're going to have in there.
Okay, so Gramthers, a long time ago, said the bedwetting is a result of how they were potty trained as a small child, i.e. humiliated by their mother for peeing in their sleep. If it's too harsh, it can result in damage. Okay, so I can kind of see that. I think that's probably along the lines.
That wasn't along the lines of what the dude said.
No, it was kind of similar to that.
It was more simple, and it cut right to the chase. Like, they're peeing in the bed because of da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, yeah. It's not because they don't want to get up and go to the toilet. Like, it's not like... Because when I was a little kid and wake up in the middle of the night having a fucking piss, I was like 5 or 6. I'd be afraid to walk across a dark house to go to the fucking bathroom. I'd do it, but you'd be like, oh, man, the monsters are going to get me.
Yeah, it's going to jump on me.
That's the only thing I could fucking come up with. Of why they would just
now that
stay
I'm
there.
old, I still don't want to get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom, but that's because I'm lazy. And
You keep
I'm
waking
scared.
up. You're like, oh, man.
God damn it, again.
Yeah.
And the older you get, like, fucking, oh my God, last night, I got up
Like 4 times.
4 times.
Yeah.
That never happened.
Well, we were drinking.
No, we weren't. Not
We weren't?
last
I thought
night
we were.
weren't. No, last night was Tuesday. We didn't do a show last night. I didn't
All
drink
right.
anything except water.
Okay. Yeah,
And I didn't even drink excessive amounts of water. I just drank regular.
You didn't take a water pill.
No, I didn't take a water pill or nothing. That's
Yeah.
why I was like pissed off because I was like, holy crap! I
Yeah.
woke up at like 12:15. I woke up at like 1:15. I woke up at 2:15. I woke up at 3.
Yeah.
I'm like, really again?
Yeah.
And I had to keep getting up, and I was just like, Jesus Christ! And then the damn cat, Bambi, woke me up at like 6:15. The sun was barely up, and she's like, hey, don't you think it's about time you got up and fed me? Hey.
Yeah.
She's like right next to the bed, and I was like, oh, you suck. I'm like, it's so early. I was like, fuck it, I'll just get up. Because if I got up and fed her and all that rigmarole, by the time I got back in bed, I'd only be able to sleep another fucking 15, 20 minutes. So it's like, why bother? You know what I mean? So I got up at like 6:30. I'm so tired. But yeah, it was kind of a shit show. That does not usually happen. But for some reason, last night I just kept waking up. And the weird thing is, like, last night, I was watching my true crime shit like I usually do, and Tom's on his tablet. And by the time it was like 9:30, I was like dozing off.
Yeah.
I was like, what happened? You know what I mean? And I was like, what the fuck? I don't know what was going on. So I was just like tired and peeing, and it was just like it was not a fun time. And today has been a very stressful day, so I'm just, I was like so busy with work today. And so I'm trying to like relax, you know what I mean? So we're relaxing with alcohol and serial killers. But this is actually kind of relaxing. I know that's like weird to say, but maybe I should probably be on the list somewhere too. I don't know. I relax by watching true crime shit. I don't know why that's relaxing to me, but it is. I guess it's relaxing because you're like, well, at least that shit didn't happen to me. I mean, it could, obviously, but you know, man, must suck to be that person. I think it makes you like appreciate your own life more. Is that fucked up to say? Because you're just kind of like, well,
Papa 77 trying to send us a super chat. Said it won't let it go.
yeah, I don't know why. Like,
Should.
Beesness that one earlier. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I thought you were unbuttoning your pants
No,
for a
no,
second.
you might
I'm like,
wanna-
oh my
no.
God, what are you doing?
No, just you might want to like restart your tablet or your device. Sometimes that has something to do with it.
Yeah. All right, so should we get into this like for real?
Yeah, get into it for real. We were just
real?
winging it.
And like talking about, well, yeah, like, you know,
Well,
I
the
have.
sensational aspects of it are pretty fucking interesting with the Howard Stern calling into the house.
That's what I mean. I totally had
Yeah.
forgotten all about that, and it's just like I had to look it up. I'm like, who was the serial killer that called Howard Stern? And then they were like, oh, it was the Storyville Slayer, and this is somebody that has probably not been caught, unless it was the guy that died in prison in 2014. He might have done all these. No one's entirely sure, but like I said, we'll get into that. So Storyville Slayer, possibly unapprehended serial killer, killed at least 12 people, mostly women and a few trans women, and possibly as many as 27. That's kind of the range we're working in. This happened in New Orleans, the Storyville area of New Orleans largely, in Louisiana in the early to mid 1990s. Generally between like 1991 and 1996 is when the canonical murders were. And they didn't find some of the bodies until like way later on. Now, as I said, one guy who was a cop, he was actually suspected of the crimes, but was never charged with anything. He is still a suspect as far as I know, but he has moved away from New Orleans. One guy, who's a white guy, he was convicted of one of the murders and went to prison, but has since died. And they're not entirely sure if he did any of the other ones, although it wouldn't shock me if he had. So the victim profile for the Storyville Slayer, largely black women, age between... He didn't really seem super specific about the age. The youngest one was 17. The oldest one was in her early 40s. And there were a handful, as I said, of like trans victims as well, 2 or 3 trans women too. Most of them were strangled. Most of them were also beaten. Now, if you believe the guy that called Howard Stern, he said he beat them with a hammer.
Yeah, and that didn't really bear out, did it?
Which I'm not real sure, because generally all I've seen about the victims is like, oh, they were beaten. They didn't say if they were beaten with someone's fists or with a an object like a hammer. But the guy that called said he liked to use a hammer. So I don't know if that's the case. Because some of the victims, they didn't find them until a lot later, and they were very decomposed. And some of them were skeletons.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of hammer he used, too, and fucking what shape the skull was in when they found it, if they ever did find it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's just kind of like... I don't know. I don't know if the hammer thing bears out. I haven't heard anybody dispute it, but...
The weird thing about the Howard Stern caller, you can hear it. It's on YouTube all over the place. The weird thing about the Howard Stern caller is that he said the first time he killed one, he was going to leave all kinds of clues to make it look like, he was calling Carl like he's a serial killer and shit. And he says the cops didn't even notice, so he stopped caring.
He said, fuck it.
He's like, fuck it. Yeah, he said the cops didn't even pick up on it.
Yeah, he wanted to leave a signature.
Yeah, but he says they weren't even paying attention to what he was doing.
Yeah, I was going to get into that like a bit later.
He didn't give a shit after that. So they kind of ignored they ignored his artistry. They ignored it. They didn't.
Or
notice.
It wasn't like obvious enough, I guess. But like I said, I don't know. I don't know if that dude was really a serial
sounded
killer.
very plausible.
It did kind of sound plausible to me, honestly. So I don't know. Like a lot of them were beaten. So I don't know if because he said hammer. I don't know if that's legit or not. Maybe, like I said, most of them
maybe a few of them were like that.
Yeah, probably. Some of them were actually strangled, and they didn't die right away, because some of them the cause of death was drowning, because he would usually throw the bodies in like a canal or something like that. And so some of them were obviously unconscious, but were still alive and died that way.
He may have thrown the hammer in there to fucking throw off the fucking cops too.
Maybe so. Like maybe he didn't want to get caught
because he didn't want to tell his name either. It says they called him Ed. He goes, I never said my name was Ed.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't hear the first part of the interaction.
And he goes, well, what should I call you? He goes, you can call me Clay.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah,
but
I believed him after a bit. Just from his tone. Yeah, although fucking Howard Stern had a shit ton of fans, and lot of his
some loon could have just called him. There's no way of knowing.
Howard Stern had a shit ton of fans during that time. And a lot of them were real talented that could have pulled this over on him. Because they would crank call him sometimes.
Yeah.
I was expecting the fucking dude to crank call him. And one time, the fucking caller did say the word Baba Booey.
Yeah,
but that's how they would, but that's how you would troll.
I mean,
Howard.
Serial killers might have listened to
But yeah, but if he was a regular listener.
So serial killers do regular
shit
person
like other people.
Shit, which is, they do their laundry and like... So when he pulled out a Baba
Booey, I didn't mean that didn't set off red alarm bells. Oh, he's a fake. And they just said, oh, okay, he's a regular listener.
Yeah.
And a serial killer would be in those days, in that era, it'd be very plausible that there were serial killers listening and regular listeners.
Like I said, a lot of
it was a very popular show.
Listeners.
Yeah, and
so there's going to be some serial killers.
And it's also very plausible that a real serial killer would have wanted to know Howard and would have wanted to talk to Howard and would have wanted to fucking spill his guts out to Howard. And
it's funny because he was talking to Howard for a little bit before realizing it was actually Howard.
Yeah, he didn't know that was Howard. He was just talking normally, and he goes, "Oh, you're Howard? Okay, oh, I didn't know it was you."
Like he thought he was talking to somebody else. Like
he
maybe
thought he was being
like the guy that
the gatekeeper
screens the calls. You know.
Yeah, he thought it was a screener.
But it was a live show, though.
Yeah, live show.
It was a live show.
Yeah, which really, to be honest, and we've mentioned it before on this show, is that the Howard Stern show was one of my original concepts for this show.
Yeah.
It was to just be a regular fucking show and talk about topics and paranormal and fucking mysteries and unsolved shit and murders and have regular listeners that we would just interact with. That's what we do in the chat. And it works. It's just, it's not for the younger generation. Some young people listen to us. Some people grew up listening to us because we've been doing this shit for so long. They said, man, I've been listening to you guys since I was in high school.
Almost 10 years.
It's like, damn. Yeah, I guess you did grow up with. But the idea was more like just talk show. We're not a source of information. You can always get sources.
I try to get shit right.
We've got accurate information, but fucking if you want to know real quick, fucking go on Google, all right? Fucking Wikipedia that shit. Yeah. Fucking because we get a lot of the information from online searches and things that we knew from the time but the idea is that this was there's another show like us called Time Suck, and it's just to get you through the day.
Yeah. It's just that one guy, and he's a comedian, but he does the same thing. He does 2.5, 3-hour shows about serial killers and cults and weird shit. But he gives you all the facts, but it's like there's a bunch of jokes interspersed.
And I would go through the workday. Howard would get me through the workday, listening to him on the radio. And it was just an ongoing fucking radio show. And it would help the day pass by. And you felt like you knew him. That was just the idea for this show.
Yeah, just like a hangout kind of thing.
It's a hangout show, yeah.
Where we talk about fucked up shit.
Right, you know.
Which I like to do anyway.
Yeah. And, another one that I like fucking is Wang. Which we have listeners that know Wang up in New York. And fucking I can drive all day long listening to his fucking shows telling me stories about some shit from the internet back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Or, crazy shit that happened and women on Reddit that jump into fucking dumpsters and fucking rub one out and a bunch of rotten meat, fucking blowfly girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's super fun.
Or the dude that put the fucking glass jar up his booty and broke it.
Yeah.
And had to take it all and fucking and made a video of it. Fucking crazy.
CB said, yeah, there's probably a serial killer watching 13 o'clock right now.
I'm sure.
I have thought about that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Actually, thank you very much. We got a super chat from Papa77. Super chats are open. Show some love, you guys. Thank you very much. Here's some love for just doing my favorite subject. Tom, you are, what does it say? You're putting off con vibes tonight.
Yeah, like con, yeah.
That's what we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Let's hope this works. Now restart it on my phone. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That one.
Yeah.
I kind of wondered about that when we've done shows about unapprehended serial killers. Like when we did a show about the Long Island serial killer, I know they've caught that dude now, but when we did the show before they caught him, I was just kind of like, or allegedly they caught that dude. But I was like, oh shit, like what if he comes down here, and like I do kind of worry about it for a second, but I don't know. It's a big world. What are the odds of him like seeing the shit? I don't know. But I mean, statistically, probably. We don't have that many subscribers. What, like 16,000? So it's like there could be a couple serial killers in there. Shout out in the comments if you're a serial killer.
I'm sure some of them have listened to us talk about them.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then I kind of worry about it. It's like, well, we're always kind of making fun of them. So now are they mad and they're going to come kill us?
No, there's only two of them I didn't make fun of. The original Night Stalker and Kuklinski. And they're both locked up.
Yeah.
But at the time I was talking about fucking the original Night Stalker, he was free. He got caught a couple months later, and that show had fucking tens of thousands of hits. Fucking boom! They came in and the comment section was like, man, Tom predicted it, because I predicted what that guy was like. And that was right. I knew he was paramilitary.
Yeah, because we did a show before he got caught.
And
then we did another one like after he got caught.
Yeah, what was his name? Fucking
D'Angelo.
I said he's paramilitary. He's at least Army or police. And
was
he's
both.
combat arms. He was both. Because he was doing shit that a commando could do. Delta Force type shit. And he was getting in firefights and killing people in public. Which means he was very confident about and secure about walking around armed in public. Which meant that he did that for a living. I've done that for a living. And there's something about it. People that have never done that before in uniform can't do it very well. They don't have the confidence. You know what I mean? They're going to see the gun. They're going to call the cops. No, it's the middle of the night. They're not going to see the gun. You can walk around in people's backyards when the lights are on and they'll never know. My whole platoon moved through a fucking South Korean backyard, like a whole neighborhood. We walked through it. Right behind their fucking windows at night. A whole fucking infantry platoon with belt-fed machine guns and fucking mortars and all kinds of shit, mortar tubes, and nobody saw us. And if you were to ask those people, hey, did you know that fucking 50 dudes walked through your backyard, fucking heavily armed with fucking body armor and fucking mortars, anti-tank landmines in their fucking rucksacks and fucking machine guns? They would go, oh no, that could have never happened. There's like ghosts, ninjas. No, we were fucking sweating, making all kinds of noise. We weren't even fucking being quiet. Y'all fucking didn't hear it.
Well, most people are probably sleeping.
No, they were awake. I could see the fucking flickers from the televisions. They were watching televisions and shit. It's just that you can't, when you look out your window at night, you can't see because it's light where you are and it's dark outside, so you can't see out. And there's usually some kind of sound that they have, like televisions playing, so they don't hear everybody walking and all that jingling and all that equipment. And who would think 50 dudes are walking in their backyard, climbing their fences?
See, that's why I don't like to sleep with, because Tom likes to sleep with earbuds.
Yeah.
Like he listed, I don't like that because
Well,
it's just
earbud.
kind of like, well, I don't really like I like it to be quiet.
No.
Only because I can only sleep when it's quiet, but also if some shit goes sideways, I want to fucking hear it and wake up.
I have PTSD. It's not real bad PTSD, but they pay me for it. I'm not really fit for civilian jobs anymore. And quiet means danger to me. I came from out of service, 101st Airborne Division, 2nd ID, fucking Korea. We did a bunch of shit in the Middle East back in the 90s. And quiet, we were trained more like jungle warfare type shit. Quiet is danger. Loud and noise is safety. That's just because when we were doing shit, it's always very quiet, very low profile, stealth. That was the way it was back then. It's not that way anymore, not after Afghanistan and all that shit. Those guys are not like us. I was from a different generation. And to this day, the most relaxing sound is fucking jet turbines. And it just, I don't know, I just associate that with like safety. It's being around airfields and all your buddies and laying down on rucksacks and sleeping, just exhausted. But you hear them fucking jet turbines going, you know it's safe. You're in a rear area.
I can't sleep with all that noise.
I just love it. It's just this real relaxing sound of fucking
Noise
jet turbines.
like gives me really bad anxiety and really bad stress.
Yeah, no.
It's like I like quiet. And honestly, like I like quiet to sleep. But that's just because, well, I'm not paranoid about like people breaking in or nothing. Yes, it could happen. But it's like if one of the kitties like got hurt or something like that in the middle of the night, I want to be able to hear it so I can get up and help them, So there's that too.
I don't know, it was a certain place and a certain time. It was the first Gulf War and shit that was going on, and I was up in Korea during that time in an infantry unit at Camp Graves, first in the 506 Air Assault Infantry. And we did a lot of fucking chopper time, more than we did even in the 101st. I went to the 101st later, because that unit came from the 101st. It's a long story how they traded units through these divisions. And there's just something about that period of my life at that time, the level of development I was at psychologically as a young man, and all the dudes I was growing up with that I was in the service that we still talk to. I still talk to these dudes. Jen will see it. Motherfucker will make a comment on my shit on fucking Facebook, and they usually end and begin every sentence with brother, because we're brothers now and we grew up together, and fuck, we know all their wives, and it's like a mafia, all right, and they're like my brothers. Not all of them, but the ones that I went to basic with. We were a cohort platoon, so we went to basic, and then we went to Korea, and then we went to 101st. We started to filter out into new units as we grew, and then fucking our fucking drill sergeant ended up in our unit, and he was a legend at that time, Drill Sergeant Howell. And it was just a time, and it was just like something out of the movie fucking Starship Troopers. It was like that because it was wartime, and it was a beautiful time, and there's just something about jet engines, and you're with your brothers, and you've been working, and you're just fucking exhausted, and it's fucking safe, and they're just, I hear jet engines, and it just brings me back to that. Jet turbines off of those helicopters. It gets you emotional. I don't know what it is. And it's always because it already happened. It's at the end of one little mission, and another mission's going to start. You're constantly moving around in South Korea. It's kind of like Vietnam, kind of. It's real fucking hot in the summer and freezing cold in the winter. It's a place where they break in new troops up there on the infantry units. The artillery guy is tough too. Everybody knows, if you all served in Korea in the 80s, and the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you know the DMZ war. It was fucking weird. Psychological warfare.
CB says, Tommy, you better pray BTK don't get out after all the fun you made about his
I will fuck BTK up.
I mean, he's an old man at this
I
point.
would fuck
you could
that
just
dude
like
up.
push
He's
him
an old
over
man
like
now.
that.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I ain't worried
Same
about
with
BTK.
D'Angelo. Tammy says you only need to fear Steven Seagal coming for your ass.
Steven Seagal.
Yeah. He might sit on you like you could suffocate. I mean, that's a danger.
The thing is about Steven Seagal.
Don't get too much into it.
I don't want to get back.
Look, I am like I'm right here.
We're right there.
Like,
we got so much shit to talk about.
To talk
You guys are getting me sidetracked on fucking Steven Seagal.
I gotta pee anyway.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Steven Seagal.
Okay, but
if you guys are not regulars to the show, fucking there's been a long running fucking relationship between me and Steven Seagal, and Steven Seagal doesn't know about the relationship. It's just me and talking about Steven Seagal and how I can't understand how a dude could make a movie about himself and him not be in the movie. There are Steven Seagal movies where his image is in it, but it's mostly a fucking stand-in. And whenever he talks, it's not even his voice, somebody else's voice he's dubbed in. Steven Seagal is using his name just as a... Steven Seagal is ripping off his own movies. That's the fucking weird thing. I don't understand. He can make them, trying to make movies and not be in them. All right? That's some wild shit. And then he's got a fan base that buys these movies and believes everything he says and read his little book. I listened to his book. Somebody read it on I didn't read the whole thing, but somebody did an audio version of it on YouTube and listened to his fucking book. That shit was so ridiculous.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we done talking about
Talking
Steven
about
Seagal?
fuck Steven Seagal.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Like I said, if he showed up at our door, that'd be super funny.
He's so fat now.
I mean,
Yeah.
could he even muster up the energy to ring the doorbell?
He is a real martial artist. He's a martial artist of a martial art that isn't real. That's what it is. A fake martial art.
Oh, Tammy says to watch the Behind the Bastards on Steven Seagal. Ooh, I should.
What's it called?
That's a great podcast. Behind the Bastards.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was watching the Andrew Tate one, but it was so long that I didn't get to all of it. But
I would love to meet.
I didn't know that they did a Steven Seagal one, so I need to.
I would love to meet and interview Steven Seagal.
or listen to it rather.
Yeah.
'Cause it's a podcast.
I would love.
But it's on YouTube. But yeah, I have so many of their shows in my watch later playlist. It's like I haven't got around to it. Holy crap! I have like 3 days. Actually, more than that. I think I have like a week's worth of shit in my watch later playlist that I just haven't got around to yet. Because every time I see something come up, I'm like, ooh. But, you know, I just never have time. All right. So the Storyville Slayer, whoever the fuck he is, we don't know if he's the guy they caught. We don't know if he's this other guy. We don't know if it's some random dude. We don't know if it's more than one person who may be still out there. But the crimes attributed to the Storyville Slayer, they believe started in the summer of 1991. Now, the first thing that happened was there was this young woman who actually survived the attack. She, her real name is never given. She's usually just known as Brenda. And she went to the police and said that she had gotten into a car of some dude. I don't know if she was a sex worker, I'm presuming. So she got into a car of a dude in Algiers, in Louisiana, as part of New Orleans, yeah. And this is sometime in July of 1991. And she kind of talked with him. It was kind of normal. And then the dude started strangling her. And then he strangled her until she was unconscious and then dumped her out the car.
Thinking she was dead.
I guess he thought she was dead.
Yeah.
She was not, though. And so she went to the police and reported it. Now, she remembered what the dude looked like, and she gave a description from which they did an identikit, as they would call it in the UK, or, what do they call it over here? I don't even fucking know.
Description?
Well, a description, but they do no, they do the, what the fuck is that called? Where they do the fucking thing? I'm not that drunk.
You talking when they they draw you?
Yeah, like the drawing.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that's. An artist depiction.
Yeah, an artist depiction.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have a cool name for it. Like in UK, they call it the identikit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here they don't really have the thing. An artist rendering.
Artist
whatever
rendering.
the fuck. Now, she actually described him as a well-dressed, middle-aged, kind of muscular black man. And she said the car that he drove was dark colored. She couldn't really remember exactly what color, but it was just like a dark color. Possibly a Chevy Monte Carlo or maybe a Buick Regal. She wasn't entirely sure. And like I said, this is 1981. So they start looking out for this person. Now, a little bit later, like a couple weeks later, August 4th, 1991, they found a body. And this body was of a 17-year-old girl named Danielle Britton. And she was found in a ditch not that far from where Brenda had gotten in the car with this unknown person, who may or may not be the killer. Her body was covered up with garbage. She had been beaten and strangled to death. Now, no one's entirely sure. Like I said, she was only 17. She was a high school student. She had dropped out of school not too long before she died, I'm guessing, because it was summertime, so she wasn't in school, but you know what I mean. But I think she had dropped out the previous year. And somebody said that they had seen her in a bar in New Orleans sitting next to some unidentified man. Nobody knows who the fuck that is. Nobody knows if she had a job or if she was working as a sex worker or anything like that, because a lot of the subsequent victims were sex workers or drug addicts and or both, you know.
Yeah, see, the New Orleans area party scene, there's shades of gray.
Yeah.
I had friends there, some of the girls, who had moved there from other places and were stripping, doing kind of like peep shows type stuff. And some of them were underage. Okay, they didn't look it, but they weren't quite old enough. And they would do what's called kind of like a survival prostitution, which means there's a dude who wants to go home, who wants to take you home with him, and you don't have any money or anywhere to stay, so you're going to go with him anyway. And he's okay, so you're going to go with him. Which some of women might just think of that's just trying to make it through the night. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
They're not bad people, though, and some of
No, of course not.
And some of those girls, they're only like that temporarily.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you
get
got
by,
to do.
man.
They run into a guy who's cool, and they like him, and then all of a sudden she's a girlfriend now. Now she's living with him, and you know she was never really. And Jen knows who I'm referring to. I've known her for fucking ever, okay? And she was kind of like that. She did things for money, but because she didn't have any money, she didn't have where to go, okay? Yeah. But a friend of mine basically saved her, you know. And she became a girlfriend, and that never happened again. It was just a period of a few months that she did that kind of shit. I wouldn't call her a hooker, and I you know, I'm pro hooker. I've had friends that are real hookers, and fucking done business with hookers when I was fucking in Korea and shit.
Like I said,
I wouldn't call her a hooker.
like
she was
any
just
other
trying to
fucking job.
survive it. She was just trying to survive.
Yeah.
You know, a young girl trying to survive because she
and
was
honestly,
away from home.
it's kind of a shitty job. Like, some people want to do it, and that's cool. They should be allowed to. Like, it should be legal, but because it's a lot safer when it's legal, that's for sure. As we will see as the story goes on.
Yeah.
Why a lot of stuff was not reported.
Yeah.
Because they were engaged in other illegal activities.
So some of these victims may have been girls like that. They just don't have anywhere to go. They're kind of homeless.
Yeah, I mean, this girl, I saw a picture of this girl, and she definitely looked like a high school student, that's for sure. But like I said, nobody's really sure what she was up to after like I said, she'd been to school up until summer, and I guess she was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm not going back. For her senior year, I'm assuming she was a junior, because she was 17.
Yeah, and she ends up in the party scene, and
Yeah, it's
She's
like,
trying
you know,
to find a
shit happens.
boyfriend and fucking
Shit
trying
happens.
to find a stable boyfriend to take her home. You know, that kind of shit.
Yeah. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
she ended up getting murdered
Yeah.
and left in a fucking ditch.
Poor girl.
Yeah. Then, about a month later, September 3rd, 1991, they found another body. This was a 21-year-old woman named Tyra Tassin. Now, she had 3 kids, and she had a criminal record. I don't believe it was for prostitution, but she did have drug possession, but, you know, that's not really any big deal either. But, like I said, a lot of these women were kind of, like I said, sex workers or drug users and had multiple arrests. So I'm not saying that that's why they didn't investigate it, because they did, but, you know, sadly, this kind of shit happens to vulnerable women like that, like, all the time. So about another month later, actually a little less than a month later, September 22nd, they found another body. 28-year-old Charlene Price. She was found at a park in New Orleans. Her body was found only about a mile from where the first victim had been found, the 17-year-old. And she had also been beaten and strangled. They didn't know if she was a sex worker, but she also had some prior convictions for drug abuse. So there was that. Like I said, so clearly it's somebody that's preying on some of vulnerable people, you know, which some serial killers, a lot of serial killers do.
You want to do red pop or you want to do root beer? Next one.
Red pop is good.
Okay.
So the next one they found was pretty much exactly 2 months later, November 22nd. And this woman was a bit older. She was 37. Her name was Regina Oko. And she also had 3 kids. And she had been arrested multiple times for prostitution. And she had been strangled. And before she died, she had taken a very large dose of cocaine, which may have, I mean, it was enough for an overdose. Now, this is another thing that's kind of interesting, because I think that the dude that called Howard Stern said something about that, or kind of referred to that, like, indirectly, which kind of, like, made my little antennas go, because I was like, hey, wasn't there one victim that, yeah. So that was kind of one thing that made me kind of believe him a little bit more, because some of the victims did have a lot of drugs in their systems. Not that they weren't drug users before, but they were kind of speculating that maybe the serial killer was, like, giving them a whole bunch of, or they were doing drugs together, and then they took a whole bunch, and then that made it easier for him to, like, do shit to them. You know what I mean?
I'm going to show them this. This right here. Back when I lived in Michigan as a kid, I got introduced to Faygo. Fucking Faygo is the fucking classic from the Insane Clown Posse. And this shit here, what used to be cheap as shit, you could get a whole fucking, when I was a kid, you could get a whole 2 liter for like 50 cents. And you could get like other glass bottles of it for 50 cents. It was all the same price. I don't remember where it's from. I think it might be from Ohio or something. But you can get it here in Florida now. Faygo. It's not as cheap as it used to be though. It's like $1.50 now. But man, for y'all living overseas, you don't know what you're missing. This is Red Pop. It's called Red Pop.
It's red flavored.
Red flavored. All right.
Supposed to be strawberry,
needs
but-
it's strawberry, but Europe needs to understand the fine flavor of Red Pop. Okay.
They have shit like that over there too, you know.
Red Pop.
So, okay, so where was I? All right. So, less than a month later, probably about 2 months later, 2 weeks later, rather, December 14th. This is still 1991. They actually found skeletal remains, and these were found in a ditch near a highway. Now, these remains are still unidentified. They don't know who this victim is. They know that it was a young black girl, probably in her early 20s. She's probably fairly short, about 5'2". She had real protruding front teeth, which they thought would make it easy to identify, because they put out like what's a reenactment? What the fuck is the word? Why can't I think of it?
Bucktooth.
No. I mean, like I said, they did like a recreation of like what she would have looked like with her teeth. And they thought it would be easy to find her because that was very distinctive. But so far, no dice. So she's basically Jane Doe #1. And sadly, not the last Jane Doe in this case. There's a lot of Jane Does. And they think she was strangled. I'm assuming her hyoid bone was broken. That's usually how they determine. And where they found the skeleton was not too far from where the first victim had been found. January 4th, 1992. A 29-year-old woman, who they later identified as Lydia Madison. Now, she also had several arrests for prostitution and drug possession. They found her body in a ditch under an overpass. She had also been strangled. At this point, there seemed like a kind of a big gap, several months. They didn't find another body until the early June of 1992. And this was the first trans victim. This was a 25-year-old identified as George Williams. They actually found she'd been strangled, and she was also transgender. She had worked as an exotic dancer at a nightclub in New Orleans. And she had some prior arrests too, not for sex work, but for robbery and for drug possession. So there was that too. The next one they found, also trans, that was only a couple weeks later. This was July 25th, actually like a month and a half later. July 25th, 1992. They found Noah Filson, who was 33. And they found her in a canal near I-55. Also transgender, and had worked at a nightclub in New Orleans under the name Brenda Bewitch, which I kind of love that.
Yeah.
But that was a great, yeah. So, yeah, these two victims here, like I said, if the guy on Howard Stern is to be believed, I don't know if he was targeting them specifically, or it was just that was who he picked up.
They picked him up.
Or they picked him up. Because the guy that called Howard Stern was like, I never went after anybody. I waited for them to approach me. So it's like, so he didn't really care what race they were or if they were transgender or whatever. He's just like, whoever came and got in his car was on the menu.
Y'all can listen to him on YouTube telling his story. And my bullshit detector, through the tone and the way he's speaking, he's telling the truth. I believe he's telling the truth. And I don't think he hunted him down. He just took whoever approached him. And I think that's him, man. I think that's...
If it was and it was the same dude that they convicted of the one murder, then he's dead now.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. I've seen pictures of the guy they convicted. I don't know, like the voice and the face don't look the same, but I'm not good at that.
You talking about the blonde photograph of that face, right?
Well, he wasn't blonde. He had like kind of gray hair. He looked kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it was blonde hair that went gray though. He was kind of older. He looked kind of like a crackhead.
Yeah.
But
well, I think he was kind of a crackhead.
That photograph was later.
True.
And I think drugs had got hold of him.
Yeah, he was a bad druggie. If that was the same dude.
No, I think that was him.
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have been.
That face did match if you reverse it in time. I mean, crack and methamphetamine will fucking age you prematurely very quickly. Because I think the photograph was probably from like 5 or 6 years later, I think, wasn't it?
Well, when did they arrest him? That's later in my notes, but I can't really.
It was later. And he just looked rougher. He just looks rougher. They said that dude lived in squalor.
He had for many years.
And that,
also.
yeah, and that makes sense. Serial killers tend to live in squalor.
Other than the ones that have completely normal lives.
You're right.
Which I think is
other
rarer,
than the ones
honestly,
that are married and shit. But
which is weird, but
no, the dude with the gray hair we're talking about, did he have children?
He said he did on the show.
On the show, but I'm saying, but can they confirm that the dude they have the photograph of that they arrested, did he have children?
Oh, I don't know.
Or was he trying to throw him off?
Yeah, he might have said some like lies and stuff.
Right.
Because he said he had a couple kids.
Yeah, and he wasn't married to her.
Yeah, I think he implied that he lived with his girlfriend for a while and they'd had kids together,
and
but they weren't together anymore. So I'm assuming that the kids did not live with him. The Stern caller
is a suspect, and he's been linked to these. He is describing a series of cases.
Yeah, like I said,
there are cases that fit that
later, but yeah.
Right.
So.
And he may have found that online. Retro 90s fucking internet. There was some serial killer fan sites keeping, and he may have gotten, but I don't believe so. I think that was him. That's just me. That's just me and my gut instinct.
I mean, I'm not sure, but like as the conversation went on, I was kind of like, maybe this is that guy.
My gut instinct was that was a serial killer, and that he was mostly telling the truth. I think he also said some things to try to throw people off because he was worried about, hey, my name is not Ed.
Yeah.
You know, so
maybe his name really is Ed then.
Wait a minute, yeah, he might have been named Ed, and he fucking accidentally said,
"My name's not Ed.
My name's not Ed. God damn it!
Shut up."
But maybe he wasn't Ed. I don't know if that dude was Ed, but the way he was talking, that sounded like the real thing.
Well, you know, the real dude that we're talking about, the white guy that they got later, his name was Elwood.
Elwood. Weird.
Was his first name. So maybe he thought it sounded too close.
Yeah.
That could be.
Yeah. My name is Clay. Because you don't want to say my name is Elroy or Elwood. That's some weird shit.
My name is totally not Elwood, though.
Yeah.
No matter what you're thinking.
What's
this
funny-
is kind of like the show that we did last week where about Stephen Port, the grinder killer, where he killed that kid and then like he left a suicide note on him and said, "Don't blame the guy I was with last night." I was just like, oh my god, dude, come on now.
What's funny about these weird names like Elroy and Elmer and all these fucking goofy ass white boy names is that if you go back into history, you find out that they mean some badass shit, like the head chopper. You know what I mean? Fucking.
I mean that.
The destroyer. They mean that, you know, and like old Scottish type shit, fucking languages and shit. Fucking funny. That the goofier that name sounds, the fucking more of a badass name it was back in the day.
I don't know what Elwood means. That just sounds like some
Elwood
place.
means like destroyer.
It doesn't. It's probably like some place they were from. Like, look, the forest kind of has trees that look like L-shaped.
Yeah.
It's Elwood. You know, it's kind of something stupid like that.
Elmwood is probably
what it was. Yeah, that's probably what it was. So where was I? Okay, so a couple months later, September 21st, sorry. They found another body. So this is like a 4 or 5 year span, and the bodies are coming like once a month, roughly, something like that, once every couple months. They found another body. This was a 29-year-old woman, and I'm not really sure how to pronounce her first name. Regetter, Regetter. Regetter.
Yeah.
I never heard. That's kind of a cool name, actually.
Yeah,
I never heard that before. Because I looked it up, I'm like, is that right? I'm like, is it...
Regetter.
Yeah, I never heard that name before. Regetter Martin, that was her name. And they found her in a canal near a highway, again. She was, again, she had 3 kids. That seems to be a weird pattern, doesn't it? And was very poor, obviously, and had also worked as a sex worker and had several previous arrests for same. Like I said, got to make money somehow. So I'm not worried about it. February 20th, 1993. Now they found skeletal remains, and this turned out to be a 30-year-old woman named Cheryl Lewis. And again, they found her in the waters of a canal. She was, again, very poor. She had 4 kids and had several prior arrests for prostitution. She had also been strangled. Now... she had last been seen February 2nd, and the last time she was seen alive, she was getting into the car of an unidentified white male. So, like I said, the reason they started investigating these cases back in 1991 was because Brenda, who survived being strangled and dumped out the car, said that the dude was like a muscular black man. But now this is like saying like she was last seen with like getting into a white dude's car, and then she wasn't seen alive after that. And like I said, the guy that called the Howard Stern show, if they think it's the same guy that was convicted of the one murder, that's a white dude. So
Sounded white to me.
I'm not really sure. He did sound like a white guy too.
I mean, there are some black dudes that you would never know talking about on the phone, but that dude was not Southern. That dude was fucking from like Ohio or Michigan. Because I know those accents. That
yeah.
was
that
Midwest.
was where old Elwood was from.
And even Midwestern black dudes have a Southern fucking vibe to their English. So, nah, that was a white dude.
Yeah, he sounded very white. Like
Yeah, most likely.
Now, she had been reported missing by her mom like the same day that because she thought something was up. You know what I mean? So, again, we have another suspect, but this dude is like a white dude. February 21st, they found another body, and this was the oldest victim. She was 42 years old. Her name was Dolores Mack, and she was found, again, in a canal near a highway, not far from where Lewis had been found. She had also been strangled. However, this woman actually didn't have any convictions. She was not known to be involved in drugs or sex work in any way. Not saying she wasn't, but it's like they didn't have any record of it. So they thought that was like a little unusual. Now, during this time period, and this is kind of in hindsight, obviously, but it's just kind of like the investigators were thinking, obviously a lot of other murders happened during this time period, but they didn't find the bodies until later on because he dumped them in canals, and so, and obviously they were like super decomposed when they were found. So February 5th, 1994, they find another set of skeletal remains. And these were found in St. John the Baptist Parish. And these were later determined to be a young woman in her late 20s to early 30s. She had also been strangled. This woman, sadly, still remains unidentified. She is Jane Doe number 2.
African American?
Yes. I said, almost all of the victims were. Almost all of them. Not all of them, but almost all of them.
Where'd you say this was?
New Orleans.
Yeah, but what neighborhood?
It's Storyville generally, but it's just kind of like...
Yeah, that's Dialects projects, probably.
Yeah, it's a largely black area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not surprising that a lot of the victims...
Yeah, the family cohesion isn't very good in those places. So fucking she comes up missing, what family she does have. Oh, yeah, she gone, fuck her. They think she just moved to another place. Or family members get sucked up and go to prison, so...
Well,
they lose track of each other.
As we mentioned before, it's like that's why a lot of serial killers tend to target drug addicts, sex workers, things like that, because they tend to be very transient.
And the families don't
tend to be estranged from their families. Yeah. Their families don't know where they are.
Yeah.
And they tend not to report them missing. That's not the case in all. I mean, some of these victims were actually reported missing pretty much immediately, but they don't know where they are.
They don't know to report them missing.
Right.
Because they haven't seen them for years, even when they're alive. So
right.
They don't know where they are. Yeah. And don't really care. They're kind of estranged. Yeah.
Yeah, which, like I said, is kind of scary to think about. It's like, well, she's just off doing her own thing. It's like they're not going to worry about it, They don't really become alarmed unless, something fucking egregious.
Well, we're
happens.
kind of more mainstream white bread society where we all worry about where our family members are. Fucking, this fucking sucks that you got these real low income families with fucking bad criminal histories and fucking, the way they grew up, they don't give a shit where each other are. They're like, fuck that bitch. But then I think about it, I'm like, no, I got cousins. I don't know where they are.
Well, here's the thing.
My mom's got 9 fucking sisters. How can I keep track with all my cousins?
Well, I thought about this too because, I said, I watch a lot of true crime, so I think about this kind of shit. And I was just kind of like, look, I'm actually really like my family. I love my mom. I love my siblings and everything like that. But I don't hear from them every day.
Yes, you don't really know where they are.
Like, it might be a few weeks or like a month or something. And then my sister or something like that will send me an update. It's like, hey, I'm doing this and that and the other thing, which is like, that's normal. But it's like, if I didn't hear from her for a couple weeks, I wouldn't be like initially alarmed like she got murdered or anything, because it's like, she doesn't live here. She lives in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And it's just so... If I didn't hear, I know that's a horrible thing to say, but it's like if I didn't hear from her for like a few weeks, it wouldn't alarm me because I don't usually.
Yeah, I never hear from any of my cousins.
Like, we communicate, but not every day.
Yeah.
I'll
post pictures or something. I might have my cousins in Louisiana fucking like it. But if they didn't like it, I wouldn't notice that they didn't like it.
You wouldn't notice, yeah.
They could go for a year or 2 years without me noticing. Hey, whatever happened to my fucking cousin Cat? Where'd Cat go? Yeah, be like that.
And it's not because you don't love that person or you don't like,
you're
not close to that person.
Yeah.
They're just, it's like you got your own shit going on.
Yeah.
It's that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like I said,
and it's weird. Cousins are not quite like friends. Friends, you'll kind of keep up with them because they're living in your area.
I know it.
Cousins might be fucking spread out.
You know what's kind of fucked up? Is that if somebody didn't show up for like 2 weeks at Barbarella or something...
You're thinking
the same thing. Where the fuck are they?
Where the fuck are they? But I haven't seen my cousins in years.
Look what happened when John disappeared.
Yeah.
Like when nobody could get hold of him, like
all the
club people were like, "Where the fuck is he at?"
Yeah.
Like, and he was only gone like a day or two.
Yeah,
and
he
people
died.
were like, "Where the fuck is he?" Yeah, he died.
He died in Circle
Not
K.
like he wasn't murdered.
Now Circle K.
It was a natural.
Where'd he die at?
It was Target.
Target. He died at Target.
He died at a Target. He had a heart attack.
And at Target, and they couldn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
They were going to the cops and asking the cops, "Where is this dude?" And they were like, "Just keep looking." But the cops knew, but they couldn't tell them.
I mean, I hope that
they have to tell the next of kin.
I don't believe in heaven or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's like I would hope that John thought that was cool. That like every single fucking person that went to Barbarella was like posing. It's like, where the fuck is he?
We were looking for him. Yeah.
They were freaking out.
Yeah.
Like, where is he? Like, because he comes every week and he wasn't there. And like everyone was flipping out, and then like Scotty was his best friend, and he's like, he didn't show up to work. He always shows up to work.
He gave Scotty fucking like $250,000.
More than that, I think.
Yeah.
$500,000, I thought he said.
Yeah, because they have money. This is Florida, bitch. These motherfuckers have money.
They were best friends. And he didn't have a lot of family. He didn't have any family now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would like to think that, well, because a couple times when we didn't show up to Barbarella because we were too tired or somebody was sick or we had something else going on, when we showed up the next week, it was like, where the fuck were you guys? Like, you know what I mean? So I like to think that if I went missing, like... I don't know if my family would say anything because they only hear from me like once every couple weeks.
Yeah.
But probably all the club people would be like, where the fuck is that bitch?
CB just did some research. Read what CB just said.
So I just listened to the Howard Stern. I can tell you it's genuine. Also sounds like Ed Kemper.
I did,
like I said, I think one thing that kind of convinced me was that he wasn't bragging. He wasn't trying to be...
It was the tone.
An edgelord. He wasn't trying to like be... better than he was. He was just like, he didn't know why he did what he did. He was just like, I don't know, like he wasn't trying to be like cool or anything like that, and it was just kind of, and he was just very low key and like offhand about it, and that kind of lended it some legitimacy. I thought.
From the tone, I believed him. I think that's him.
I didn't at first. I thought it was just like a
now, I don't know if he killed all the victims we're talking about.
Well, nobody knows that.
We don't,
Like, it might be a couple different, or several different killers.
Right.
They don't really know. Like I said, it might be a Texas killing field situation where
it's more than one.
Where it's probably like 5 or 6 fucking killers. But a couple of them they caught.
Right.
But, like, a lot of the murders they haven't solved. So they don't really know if there's a whole bunch of people just, like, dumping people there. So it could be that, you know?
Yeah, I think whoever's talking to Howard, I think that guy was the serial killer.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning more toward that. Like I said, some of the shit that he said, well, I was kind of like, yeah, that kind of tracks. Like, the shit that I read. So,
well, it wasn't real stereotypical, and he's like, no, that didn't happen. You know, like, you know, so it was like a guy who really had experienced being a serial killer. You know, he didn't really know why he was doing it. He said it was just the power. I think it's just the power. I got bored. You know.
Yeah, like he wasn't acting like it was some big flex or like some big deal. It was just something that he did.
Yeah.
And it was very banal.
Yeah. Which that tracks from
that's
criminals that I know
how
do some shit they don't really know.
That's how they would see it. Because they don't see it as any big deal.
Right.
You know, they're not a normal person.
Yeah. Because I know a lot of criminals. Yeah. Jen knows more about me than y'all do. And a lot of criminals can't explain what they do. Some of the criminals are my family. They're not bad people, per se. Society would say they were, but they're just... Like my cousin... He's trying to hook me up with a good fucking Harley. He's an ex-convict. He did like 15 years federal time for a big armed robbery where he robbed a place with a fucking Sten gun, a machine gun, and he's not a bad guy. It was just, and he's very popular with women. He's a Han Solo type motherfucker. Maybe I'll have him on sometime. I got to go see him in a couple weeks.
Well, I mean, bank robbery. Yeah. I'm kind of like.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm team bank robbery.
Yeah.
But if all you did was bank robbery and you didn't hurt anybody, and it's better if you didn't even take a weapon, if it was just like a fake weapon or something.
Yeah.
I'm kind of beyond I'm on Team Bank Robbery.
He's in an outlaw. He's in an outlaw biker gang. His dad, which is my uncle, is also he's a Hell's Angel. And they, I got to go see him in a couple weeks. They were trying to hook me up with a fucking Harley, fucking Softail Deuce. They want $3,000 for it, and I could buy it, man. But I got so much credit card debt, you know. It's a nice bike. Though.
Don't look at me. I got way more credit cards.
It's a nice, yeah. You got. I'm just real conservative when it comes to debt, and I'm like going like, man, I want that bike.
I'm just kind of used to having a lot of debt because I'm all broke, so
and
I don't worry about it too much.
And it's the Angels fucking trying to sell me this bike, you know. Okay. But he's not a bad dude. He's very much kind of like a Han Solo type dude, intelligent, but they're psychopaths. They are high functioning psychopaths. You can trust them if they know you
To a point. Yeah.
to a point. Yeah. It's very much a code of honor. Some of the shit that I've said over the years on this show, people are like, oh, he's fucking nah. There's a lot of shit you don't know about me. Okay,
There is. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit you don't know about me.
A lot.
Okay, this isn't bluster. Okay, but anyway, what I was gonna say was I might buy that bike from. But I'm saying is that they're not bad. It's just that they're not conventional, and they're very much about. Well, this is my people, and those people are not my people. The very friend,
It's
foe,
tribalist, yeah.
tribal, and they're
Yeah.
all Scots-Irish. They're all fucking Southern Scotch-Irish, fucking, which is psychopathic fucking white boy genes. You know what I mean? They're like that, and it's kind of like mafia type stuff. The Italians know all about it. The Irish know all about it. Fucking Scotland, maybe some people from North England. There's a certain genetic propensity of high IQ, but fucking there's just this weird kind of genetic fucking psychopathy involved in it where we're not going to care what other people think. We're going to do this. All right, this is about we're going to gain, and yeah, they're not going to like it. Maybe that's within everybody. I don't really know, but I'm just
Yeah, I think it is.
There's just something about it with our ethnic group here, you know. Being in the South, they make good outlaw bikers. They make, but anyway, yeah. There's this. I don't know. You want me to make you another drink?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make you another drink. Oh, drink that up, and I'll make you some Red Pop. This could be strawberry flavored. But I'm thinking about getting this Softail Deuce. It's fucking red. It's this deep red color. I think it's a 2004. And they're giving me basically $3,000. That's all they want.
When are you guys going?
That's
When are you
fucking
going?
brother-in-law prices right there.
When are you going?
I gotta go see it, and if I like it, I'll ride it back. But they invite me up there for 3 days, and it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I may not be here for the show, depending on how long this party's gonna go.
Well, yeah. What day is that?
It's up in a couple weeks, and
Yeah, but like, what day is that?
I forgot. I gotta go check the thing, and I don't want to fucking pull Jen away from work.
Well,
for
I can't
this.
go. I gotta
and
make
this
money.
is some.
I gotta take care of the kiddies anyway.
Yeah, this is some biker
I don't want to.
shit.
I'm not leaving them by themselves.
This is some biker shit gonna happen here. They rented a whole fucking house on the lake and everything for my uncle's 80th birthday. He's 80. You look at him and he doesn't look 80. He looks maybe 65.
I don't look 80 when I'm 80.
He looks like 65.
That's a long way away.
Yeah.
Still, I'm
He's
old,
80.
but I'm not that fucking old.
He's an 80-year-old fucking biker.
I still got. Well, I have less than 30
Yeah.
years before I get to 80, but that's still like.
Yeah,
less
he's an
than 30
80-year-old biker, and you look at him, he looks like he's about 60.
All right.
Yeah, he's in real. We got good genes on that side of the family. But he wants me to come down there, and he wants me to look at this motorcycle and party. And go for some rides.
Okay. But like I said.
For his 80th birthday.
All right. Like I said, I don't know what day that is.
I'm gonna fucking. I'll give it to you.
Well, ask him. I didn't know if it was like because you said end of September, and that's
It's
like
in 2 weeks.
That's like my birthday.
It's
so
like
it's
in
like
2 weeks. Yeah.
So,
I'll look. I'll check it out.
so I don't really know how that's gonna go. All right. So where was I? I was in the victim thing. I said the February 5th victim, right? Like, yeah, they found a skeleton. And that woman is unidentified. That's Jane Doe number 2. February 10th, only like 5 days later, they found more skeletal remains. They're just finding bodies all over the place. I don't really know what the deal was. Like, were they just like, they found one, so they're like, holy crap, we're expanding the search, I'm assuming. So it's like, so they found more shit. This girl, sadly, also unidentified, and I call her a girl because she was only a teenager. They think she was probably about 16 years old. And she is also still unidentified. This is Jane Doe number 5. Or no, the 3. Sorry. I'm losing count of my numbers. February 13th, they found another body. 25-year-old Stephanie Murray. They found her laying in a pond in the Bonnet Carré. Is that what that is? Spillway. Yeah. 2 days after that, they found another skeleton. And this was another young girl who is, thank you very much, who is also unidentified. This is Jane Doe number 4. So, like I said, sadly, a lot of these victims still not identified as of this day. Then it was a couple months went by. April 2nd, they found actually two skeletons in the canals around the same area. Now, these were later found to be a young woman and a young man. But because they were so decomposed, neither one of them could be identified. So these are Jane Doe number 5 and John Doe number 1. So again, more unidentified victims. July 2nd, they found the body of a 32-year-old woman, Michelle Foster. She had actually gone missing in New Orleans just a few days prior to that and had been reported. She was found too. A couple months later, October 19th, they found another skeleton. This is another woman that was found in a wooded area near the highway in Bridge City. And this was later identified as 28-year-old Stephanie Brown. She actually had no prior criminal record, so it's unknown whether she was a sex worker or not. So whether it's part of the same series, no one's entirely sure. January 22nd, 1995. They found another body, 29-year-old Wanda Ford. She was another very poor woman. She had 3 children, and she was found in a swamp near I-55 rather. Now, she had multiple arrests also, and had a history of drug abuse. So, victim profile there. A couple days after that, actually the following day, they found another body, 39-year-old Sandra Warner, and she was found in St. John the Baptist Parish. 2 days after that, they found another body, 25-year-old Henry Calvin, who had actually gone missing a few months earlier from New Orleans, and they found his body also. Not sure if he was transgender or not, or I'm not really sure if he was part of the same series. I couldn't really find anything on that. Because like I said, the ones they found before were transgender, like exotic dancers and whatnot, but I don't know about this victim. March 24th, they found another skeleton under an overpass, and these were female, but they couldn't identify who it was. This is Jane Doe number 6, probably in her late 20s to early 30s, but they don't know who she is. April 30th, they actually found 2 bodies in a swamp near the I-55. Now, these victims were actually later identified as a woman named Karen, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing this wrong, Ivester?
Yeah.
And Sharon Robinson. Karen was 30, and Sharon was 28. And Karen had been strangled, but Sharon was beaten and strangled. But the thing about it was that Sharon, her cause of death was actually drowning. So, like I said, as in a lot of these cases, it seemed like a lot of them were strangled and beaten, but maybe not entirely until death. And I don't know if the killer did that on purpose, but then he threw them in a canal or something like that, and then they ended up drowning because, like, obviously they were unconscious. So that's kind of what happened in this situation. May 6th, they found another body. 39, I think she's 39-year-old Sandra Williams. She had also been strangled. She was found on a street in New Orleans. Now, this was evidently the last murder in the series, as far as they know. However, almost a year after this final body was found, what are you doing?
Nothing. I'm just fucking resting. Listening to the show when I can't listen to the show.
No, you're like distracting me. I was like, I didn't know if you were like up to something.
No.
Because I know how you do.
No, I'm just drinking.
So they found some skeletal remains that had been killed prior. So like during the same time period, but they didn't find the bodies until later. So April 8th, 1996, they found another body. And this was a 39-year-old named Lois Porter. She'd actually gone missing from New Orleans in 1992. And she had actually been, but yeah, according to everybody that knew her, said she'd been living with this white dude, and he had gone missing not too long after she disappeared. So a little sus, but I don't really know who that dude was. May 1995, they actually formed a task force. The New Orleans Police Department did. And because they're like, obviously they thought this was a serial killer, right? Because it's like very similar MOs, and they're finding all these bodies within a short period of time in a very small area. Now, at first, their first suspect was a 33-year-old police officer named Victor Gant. And he was a black man, big, muscular black dude. And he actually had a ongoing relationship with one of the victims, Sharon Robinson.
The trans chick.
No, that wasn't a trans.
It's not the same one? Okay.
No. Nope.
Okay, this is later then.
Yeah, right. It was just one of the girls. One of the girls that actually didn't have a history of anything.
Okay.
So he was a big dude. He'd worked out and stuff. He was a boxer when he was younger. And the way he looked, because I saw, photos of him and stuff, he does look a lot like the description that the original victim, Brenda, quote unquote Brenda, gave to the police. Like, he was a big, muscular black man, like, well-dressed dude, blah, blah, blah. Like, he looked like that. Like, the face looked like that. Now, when they brought because they brought the FBI in on this, too. And they said, well, this guy, Victor Gant, he's only a suspect in these two murders. Because they were found together and they were killed at the same time. And they didn't really have any evidence tying him to the other murders. Now, of course, when they accused him, he got a lawyer, and the lawyer was like, yeah, he didn't do any of this stuff, or whatever. Now, he was from New Orleans. He was born there. And he had actually grown up in Algiers, where a bunch of the victims actually lived and worked, but that's where they were kidnapped from. And he started working as a police officer in February of 1980, and he was known to be a regular in a lot of the red light districts, and he knew a lot of the pimps and a lot of the sex workers, and the street informants and stuff like that, which I guess a lot of the cops would, but, he was kind of known for that. And later on, as the early 90s came on, he kind of got a reputation for being a corrupt cop. A lot of the kind of street informants said that he was running a racketeering operation against the pimps in the area and like other kind of low-level criminals and stuff. So whether that's true or not, I don't know, but like that was kind of the word on the street. And it should be noted that during this time period, he met Sharon Robinson, who was one of the victims, and she moved in with him. I'm assuming they were boyfriend, girlfriend. A lot of the sources just say roommate, but, I don't really know how much I believe that. But yeah, so she moved in with him. She lived with him. Now, in December of 1994, Sharon went to the police and filed a complaint against him for domestic abuse. She said that he punched her in the face and broke her nose. Now, he said that's not what happened. He said, I did push her, but she fell into a chair, which kind of sounds bogus.
Falling into a chair.
Yeah, I don't really see how that could break your nose, but okay. I'm sure it could happen in some freak. But yeah.
You break a nose by punching that bitch.
Yeah, honestly,
Ow.
honestly, I will say, like, her kids said no, he totally punched her, and when she went to the hospital, the doctor said, yeah, this looks like somebody punched her in the face.
Yeah, that's how you break a nose. You don't break a nose by falling into a chair.
I mean, that would have to be a really, really.
Come on.
Even if somebody pushed you into a chair,
Yeah,
that would have to be a really sturdy chair.
I tripped. I fell.
Well, like I said, it's kind of like, I know it's like a cliche, but like it's sad, but like a lot of abused women, if they don't want to say,
I fell down.
I ran into a door.
Yeah.
It's like those
I fell down the
injuries
stairs.
don't look the same. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like, all right, I'm pretty sure, allegedly, that he did really punch this woman in the face. Now, so they bring him up in early 1995.
Bee's Nest passed out for a minute. You're all right, buddy. Wake up, bitch.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Nothing bad happened while you were
Yeah.
out. So early 1995, they did like a whole disciplinary panel, and they do a whole hearing and everything to determine what is going on with this Victor Gant guy. Now, they go through all the witnesses and everything. And it's... So here's the thing. So Sharon Robinson was supposed to be one of the prosecution witnesses against this guy. But conveniently, she turned up murdered before that can happen. Very sus. So she was found dead May 1st, 1995. So, according to, the prosecution or whatever, they were like, okay, well, you probably killed her and her friend, Karen Evester, to shut them up. I'd say, it seems pretty obvious because they were going to testify against you, right? And a lot of other people came forward and said, yeah, he always hated Karen, like he was always talking shit about her, shit like that, and had a personal grudge. So they asked him to submit DNA because they found some DNA on a piece of chewing tobacco, which fucking gross, that was found next to Karen's body. Now, the DNA, though, was inconclusive. They couldn't determine whether it was his or not. So, they basically, they didn't have enough evidence to charge him. They did, however, fire him from the police force in August of 1996 because of the heat surrounding him.
Couldn't trust him.
Now, he did appeal his dismissal in 1997, and a couple years later, they did actually reduce the dismissal to a 30-day suspension and let him be reinstated, and he got all of his lost wages and benefits back.
Okay.
Which,
he may have
even
not
if
done
he
anything.
didn't, well, okay, here's
may
the
have
thing.
not done
Everyone's, innocent until proven guilty. That's how that works. However, I'm pretty sure 95% that he did punch that woman. Which, like I said, you should go to prison for that. For sure.
At least for some time.
It's kind of sketch, though, that those two women turned up dead, right before they were supposed to testify against him in the domestic violence
That's weird,
thing.
yeah.
That's a little sus.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he did it. I'm just saying it's a little suspicious. That's all. A little suspicious.
Well, kind of lined up with the serial killer activity, though.
Well,
too.
and the thing about it was that this dude, even though a lot of the later victims described a white guy, Brenda, who has, like I said, we don't know her real name, but she got away, and she described a big, muscular black man who looks very much like this dude. So, whether this dude... I think there's, probably two separate dudes going on. At least. Maybe more. But, yeah. Do I think he did something? Probably. But, allegedly. I don't really know. Now, he, like I said, he later moved to Atlanta. They don't know what happened to him. I think he moved in fucking 2016. So the other suspect they were looking at, and this is the one that we were talking about, is maybe the same guy that killed, that called the Howard Stern show. So this was a guy named Russell Ellwood. And he was originally from Ohio, but he moved to New Orleans in 1968.
This bitch checks out.
After he graduated high school.
The voice and everything. Same.
And he was a real bad drug addict and lived accordingly. He was kind of a drifter. He didn't really have a permanent address, and this is like for decades. Like he just like drifts around New Orleans, doing drugs, like sleeping on people's couches, like shit like that. You know what I mean? He worked periodically, usually as a taxi driver. That was usually what he would pick up work doing. But like I said, he didn't really have any steady work or steady residence or anything like that. And between 1968 and 1998, those 30 years, like, he got arrested all the fucking time. But, like, nothing, like, super long. But he was, like, in and out of jail, like, all of that time. And when he wasn't in jail, he was always hanging out with other bums. You know what I mean? And he was just kind of like I said, he was just kind of a drifter. He was just going from place to place. And a lot of people that knew him said one of his big things was he was always trying to, like, get rich quick. Like, he always had some scheme going on that never obviously worked out. It's like, man, if I made $1 million, I could buy so many drugs. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just speculating. But yeah, so that's kind of the type of dude that he was. But he was just like a broke bum, like, pretty much. Now, 1994, he actually first became a suspect then, because the cops found him jerking off in his car.
Yeah, near a kill site.
Yeah, and the car was parked near where Cheryl Lewis and Dolores Mack's bodies were found.
That's him. That's him, bitches.
I mean, that's a little fucking
that's him.
Strange. That's a little suspicious.
That's him.
Jerking off in the car right where some bodies were found.
Serial killers have admitted over time to going back to where they dumped a body and either screwed that body or started jerking their shit next to where
Thinking about it
to be close to that.
It's like,
victim.
oh yeah,
that's it. That's
remember
him.
when I did that shit? That was so fucking awesome.
That's him.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah,
dudes are messed up.
I guarantee you, that's the dude that called fucking Howard Stern.
It might have been, yeah.
I think it's him.
Like I said, I'm still on the fence about it, but it wouldn't shock me. But like I said, he's dead now, so it's like there's not nothing to do about it. So,
and nobody knew his voice.
I don't think so.
Good.
Zach says, "What are you drinking tonight? Love the color of that drink." Oh, it's vodka, but it's in
red pop.
Faygo red pop.
Faygo red pop, which is kind of like
we got root beer too.
It's
but
strawberry flavored, but it has like a cream soda flavor.
It's red flavor.
It's red. It tastes like red. It's like drank. It's like fucking orange drank
or purple drank.
Yeah, it's like this is some.
That's
fucking,
a southern thing, right? Purple drank.
Purple drank. This is some fucking. This here is some white trash fucking soda, bro. It's all white trash soda. All soda's white trash. Stop it.
I mean, pretty much.
It's kind of like Big
good,
Red.
though.
It's kind of like Big Red.
Vodka goes with anything, and we actually got the better vodka this time because they were out of the cheap shit.
Y'all got expensive vodka in this cheap ass soda.
Yeah. Well, Tom went down to the liquor store the other day and he's like, man, all the cheap shit was gone.
All the cheap shit was gone. I bought the expensive
I had to get
shit.
the more expensive shit, so, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Yeah.
It all honestly, it all tastes the same to me unless it's like super bottom of the barrel.
Right, yeah.
Unless it's like Aristocrat or something. That just tastes like paint thinner, but it's like...
Yeah.
Other than that, as long as the vodka is like $12,
yeah,
it's pretty much okay.
No, $20 for a fifth, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't really notice.
And I can't really tell any difference between more expensive stuff.
No, I can't either.
Like the $30 a fifth, I can't really tell the difference. It's about like the $20 shit.
Like I said, I can for sure tell the difference between like the $5 or $6 one and the $20.
Yeah.
I can for sure tell the difference there, but it's like after that, after it's $20 or $25, it's like I don't really.
Yeah. You're wasting your money.
I can't really tell the difference.
So you put some $20-something,
unless you're some connoisseur or something.
Yeah,
which
some $20-something vodka, and you can put it in any kind of fucking soda.
With something that tastes okay.
Or any kind of fucking juice, and there you go.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I said, vodka's good because it mixes with literally, well, I don't know about literally, but pretty much anything.
It'll mix anything.
Because it doesn't have a flavor of its own.
We go to the club, we fucking drink good shit and bad shit together. We'll go get some of those damn... We'll get some of those fucking coffee martinis. What was that? There's that fucking. What,
Oh my
was
god,
that shit?
those are delicious.
What was that shit? It wasn't. It was an espresso martini.
It's an espresso martini.
Fuck those things.
They make some really good espresso.
They're expensive. They're
martinis
like
at that place.
fucking
They're like
$20 each.
No, they're like 15. They're 15.
15 each. Okay.
They're $15 each. But man, they are so good.
Yeah, they're real good.
Every now and then we'll get one
They come in a
because
nice
they
fucking
make
pretty glass.
they have like a whole espresso bar.
Yeah.
in
Yeah, they're
this
making
place.
a fresh espresso and
It smells so fucking
Ooh.
good. So like sometimes we're just kind of like, give me one of those.
yeah, we'll get like a couple of those every time we go out. Just to like, okay, we're gonna do our thing, and then after that we're kind of loaded, so it would be wasted on us to get a nice drink after that.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to the well. But where we go, well vodka is fucking
It's
good
nice.
shit.
It's like I said, it's a higher end.
It's
place.
a higher end club.
So like
Oh, yeah.
even their well vodka is
It's
like
good.
is pretty good
Yeah.
shit. It's like
Their well tequila is El Jimador, which is good. That's
which
good.
we bought in the house.
Yeah,
We bought
that's
that.
El Jimador is good tequila. Yeah,
And
better than El Cuervo.
and one of our bartenders,
Yeah,
she makes like when she sees us, she makes super strong drinks.
she pours triples for us.
I never saw her doing it before, but like a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago, she was like, I saw her pouring them because she just pours them as soon as she sees us because she's like, oh, there's them.
She lives
And
around
starts-
here.
Yeah, she's from around here.
She kind of
And so-
heavy set white girl. She
and so
wants to
she
get
pours
laid.
them, and it's just kind of like it's like alcohol.
Yeah, like
It's orange juice.
and she put a little touch of shit on that.
Last Saturday, I
Yeah.
drank the first one. I was like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah. We'll
Holy
get loaded
fucking
on
shit.
$60 worth of fucking. I'm like, Jen, this chick's trying to get laid. She's trying to get in a Tom and Jerry sandwich.
All right, I'm
And
not averse.
okay, fucking, you'll put your
She's
fat
awesome.
ass.
I like her.
Yeah, we love her. We'll put that fat ass in the middle of a fucking Tom and Jenny sandwich. She wouldn't know whether to go blind. Fucking. But yeah, that's how they do. This is Florida, man.
We tip
Crazy
a lot,
shit
so
happens.
that's why.
Yeah,
We drink a lot and we tip a lot.
This is Florida. We tip well. We drink well. We have a good.
Although,
party.
like, our tab was less last Saturday because John bought
us a bunch of drinks.
a bunch of drinks.
Yeah.
So, it was like half what it usually is.
Yeah. Club gangsta action.
For whatever
So
reason, like,
yeah.
he just decided.
he
He was there early. We were there early. He's just like, nah, just like.
It's
give him-
because we opened that other fucking club.
I think that's probably why. I think that's probably why, because of the biz. So he bought us a bunch of drinks. So yeah, so our tab was only like half as much as it usually would be. But yeah, the girl that usually is there, holy crap. It's just like pretty much pure alcohol with like a spritz of orange juice in it. You're drinking like super slow. So yeah, so this guy, I love this fucking story. And I wish I'd been a fly on the wall when this guy was like, because like, look, people jerk off in their car, okay? I get it. Sometimes. But, like, this is, like, the middle of the day, evidently, and he's right at a murder site, which is a little weird, and he's, like, jerking off in his car. So the cops are like, hey, bud, what you doing there? And they made him, this is my favorite part, so they made him get out of the car. From all the sources, it said he was, like, half-dressed. So I'm like, so did you make him get out, like, with no pants on? Or what are we talking about here? Because I thought that would be super funny if he just had to get out in his underwear. So he gets out in his underwear with maybe his dick hanging out. I don't know. So they're like, so what you doing there, bud? Jerking off in your car, like, where these bodies were found. And so they asked him for his driver's license. And they asked him, was like, what are you doing here? Like, why did you stop? And he says, oh, well, my car's messed up, and I stopped because I had to change the oil and repair the brake pads. And that got you hot for some reason, and you decided like to jerk it. I don't know if the cops asked that question. That's the first question I would ask. But yeah. So he said all this stuff, like, oh, my car broke down. Okay. So this whole situation here, this kind of led me to, I'm not sure if this is like lends more or less credence to the guy that called into Howard Stern, because the guy that called Howard Stern said that he stopped killing because when he called Howard Stern in like I think it was August of 1997, he said, oh, I haven't killed anybody in like almost a year. And they said, well, why'd you stop? And he said, well, at first I stopped because my car broke down.
Yeah.
For like, and I didn't have it for like a month, and then like after that he just didn't do it anymore. And so it kind of reminded me of this. But the thing about it was that this motherfucker's car was not broken. Like, that was just kind of his excuse for why he was, like, parked on the side of the road jerking it. Because they said, well, why are you parked here? And he said, oh, I was changing the oil or, you know, replacing the brake pads or whatever the fuck he was doing.
He
and
change brake pads.
Well, no. Well, or repairing the brake pads. Yeah. And so
he was bullshit.
They asked him, well, can we search your car? And he said, sure.
Yeah.
And they searched the car, and there was, like, no tools in there.
Yeah.
There was, like, nothing. Like, yeah, repairing the brake pads, that's kind of
tools.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal. You can't really do that on the side of the road. So it's just kind of like...
You wouldn't do that on
You
the
wouldn't
side.
do that on the side of the road.
You take it home and do that shit with the
Yeah, exactly.
You need a jack. You need a fucking way to get the fucking lug nuts off. You need something to fucking depress
And they didn't find any of that
caliper.
shit.
You need fucking wrench, 13 millimeter fucking wrench.
I thought that was a little weird.
He's full of shit. But the weird thing is that the Howard Stern caller said that he stopped because his car broke down. Yeah. Which is telling me one thing. First of all, that's a very pedestrian. That's like something that would happen when you're low income. Your car breaks down.
Man, I can't go murder people anymore.
You can't go kill people.
Bummer.
You can't go anywhere because you got to get the money together to fucking. Which that sounded.
What am I
true.
supposed to do? Murder people on foot?
Yeah, it sounded true to me when I was listening to the Howard Stern call. I was
Although the thing that was the car wasn't really broken, though.
Well, no, but you're talking about the guy that they picked up on the side of the road. I'm talking about the guy that they talked to on the Howard Stern.
Well,
show.
this was the Elwood guy. So.
But the thing is that I think it's two different lies.
Oh, maybe it is. Okay.
I think it's two different lies.
All right.
Fucking. They caught him jerking off on the side of the road and he made something up. Yeah, well, I was fixing my car.
Yeah.
No, you weren't. You don't jerk off on the side of the road when your car's broken. You take your car home to your house in the garage and you fucking jack that bitch up and you fucking fix it with your tools. You don't do that on the side of the road.
I mean, on the side, if you want to jack up on the side of the road, fair enough. But it's just kind of like...
brake pads.
Don't make up some dumb excuse for it.
Yeah, you got brake pads.
Just be like, look, I'm just jerking off on the side of the road. I had a feeling.
If you got bad brake pads, that's not a situation where like, well, I got to pull over and fix these fucking brake pads. You got time because there's fucking little stubs on the brake pad that's supposed to start making a fucking noise, which I thought I was having the other day to let you know that your brake pads are getting wear and thin. So you got a lot of warning. Okay, and then you fucking get your shit together and you go home and you fucking jack the car up, loosen the lug nuts, and then jack the lug up, and you do your fucking brake pads. Which is not a fucking hard. It's not a hard operation. Here in Florida, with all the fucking heat, it fucking drives you crazy because it's hot as fuck out there. But the actual procedure of changing brake pads is not difficult. You do not do that on the side of the road as an emergency. You got plenty of warning. Okay,
but
it's not like you're driving and all of a sudden.
Evidently,
it's not like you're driving and all of a sudden, oh shit! I gotta pull the car over. I gotta change these brake pads. That's
not
how
like
that
a flat
shit goes.
tire or anything like that. That you have to like fix
immediately. That's not how that goes.
Yeah.
So when he was lying to the cops,
clearly,
but he was jerking off near where the dead bodies were.
Which, yeah, that's very sensitive.
But the dude on the Howard Stern call, which may be the same guy, he was talking about fucking, he couldn't kill people because his car wasn't working.
Because he couldn't pick up hookers anymore.
And that actually sounds true.
And after a month, it's just like maybe he lost the urge or something.
No, he was saying he had to keep it under control after a month. And he wanted to go out and do it again. He said he hadn't done it in a year.
Almost a year, he said.
Almost a year.
Yeah.
And that his car had been fucking not working, so he couldn't cruise looking for victims. Which, yeah, these motherfuckers are serial killers. They're freaks, but they're still people. And,
it's weird to think about.
And normal life's fucking problems can get in the way of their kink.
Yeah.
Because this is a kink. All right.
mean,
they're not superhuman. They're not something off of fucking.
And they're not different.
They're not very different.
I mean, they are different, but they're not that.
It's like some kid who likes to get head, but he can't get head because his fucking car isn't running. He got to stay at home. That's all it is. It's just that. So
but
when
it's
he
just
said,
like to the nth degree.
yeah, when he said that, well, my fucking car is broken, I can't go out and
And it's
kill
like,
people.
and I couldn't go out for like a month.
Yeah,
and then like I just didn't go back to
and
it.
I was like, yeah, and I was like, yeah,
and I was like, that sounds like kind of a banal reason that would be kind
but
of legit.
True, yeah, that's probably what it is. Because this isn't some big fucking supernatural fucking
Yeah, like I said, they're
movie
not demons.
They're not demons, yeah.
They're just people.
Right, and they're not the stars of some Hollywood movie. They're regular people that are fucked up.
They go to the grocery store,
Yeah.
they take a shit, their car breaks down just like regular ass people.
Yeah. And they have some kind of problem. And they're serial rapists. But this is their kink. So when he said that shit on the Stern show, I was like, yeah.
That kind of that kind of tracks because like look at like we said, we always bring up BTK, but it's just kind of like BTK for probably 85-90% of his life, he was just living like a normal ass person.
Yeah.
He had a fucking wife, he had kids, he had a job, he had all this other kind of shit. But then like there was this other 5, 10, 15% that he was doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of hard for people to get a handle on, is that most of the time, people that are serial killers, if they're blending in, are just doing regular human shit.
When he said that, I was instantly drawn back to fucking my youth.
They're in the grocery store. They're just doing regular shit. They're at the car repair place. It's like,
when he
same
says,
shit that we're doing.
When he said his car was broken, I was immediately drawn back to Detroit before I joined the military when I was like 18 or 19, going like, yeah, I couldn't go to City Club because my car was broken.
Yeah.
And I couldn't meet
Well, that's what
doctors.
happened. Like, if our car was fucked up, it's like, we couldn't go out that night because our car was fucked up.
That's what, so I was like,
you know what I mean?
Damn, he didn't invent that. You know what I mean? You wouldn't sit around going, well, I gotta tell him some reason of my car. No, it was just off the top of his head. Yeah, I couldn't go because my car was broken.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a fucking serial killer you're talking about.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, like I said, the shit that he said was so banal, and it did seem to like lend legitimacy. Yeah, unless it was somebody that was like really into it and like.
Yeah, because if it was a dude that was lying, he'd be like, "Well, I couldn't go because I thought the cops were on me and fucking this."
Yeah, he would come up with some bigger
excuse.
reason.
He was just like, "No, my car was broken. I couldn't go."
Yeah, it was like a really just a regular person reason.
Right. Yeah.
I couldn't drive around and pick up hookers.
Yeah. I couldn't go kill people because I couldn't drive.
Yeah.
My car was broken.
Harder to do shit on a bicycle.
Yeah.
Or on foot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
I
was like, yeah, I feel you, bro. Fucking, I couldn't go to the club because my car was broken. So it's the same thing. It's the same fucking thing. It's just that his fucking sex drive had involved murder. Mine was fucking chatting up and flirting with fucking cute goth girls. You know,
with no murder involved.
No murder involved. Why would I have to kill anybody? I'm trying to fucking. You know what I mean, I love these bitches. Why am I trying to kill them? It's just that you're dealing with a loser, you know, and he's got a mental problem.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I got a little cute goth girl from my past trying to come visit us from the New Orleans area. Actually, fucking recently.
When was that?
Fucking Bridget.
Oh,
Bridget keeps posting pictures, and I'm gonna come down and see y'all. And she looks so cute.
Okay.
She looks great, yeah. She wants to meet you.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get her back over here.
Well, when she can stay, she can stay.
I'll talk to her some more.
We got all kind of room.
She's healing up because she had that car accident with her hip and everything. Oh my God, she says she's been going to the gym. Yeah. She says I saw pictures of her. It made me go to the gym.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even look that Jimmy.
You don't look that Jimmy, but you guys are the same age.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
I only do gym like twice a week.
It's not that bullshit though.
I mean, I think of it as like, and then I go out dancing once a week.
Yeah, and we take.
And stuff. I try to not eat too much, and we take a bunch of stuff.
We take stuff. Yeah.
I'm not like in the gym every day or nothing.
Yeah,
like that.
She's trying to come down and visit once she gets healed up.
Okay.
And fucking Bridget, she's cute.
We got lots of room. We got couches. We got spare rooms. We got
and fucking. This goes back to my first wife. Back in New Orleans, the same area we're talking about. Going to the Crystal. My first wife was a cute goth chick, And we used to hang out with Bridget and her fucking boyfriend, Alan. I'll show you all the picture. But she's still in the South. She's in Atlanta.
Yeah, my sister
And
lives
she
in
wants to
Atlanta.
come out. She wants to come to Florida and see what it's like.
My sister's actually coming to Florida in 2 weeks.
And she broke up with that dude, so she's single.
Uh-oh.
And she wants to come have fun.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We get to introduce her to some people.
We'll get that bitch into so much trouble.
Yeah, she'll probably get in a lot of trouble down here.
Yeah. Oh, she'd love it. She'd love it. She's an old goth chick. She's your age.
There are
She's
some
not
single
my age.
people down here, but not a lot. But some people are still looking.
Yeah.
Some people are still looking.
I'm gonna show you.
Not many though. Not many.
Yeah.
I don't really know that many single people.
Yeah.
Goth scene, it's like people think, oh, they're weirdos and like they're all like living in their mom's basement. No, most of them are.
No.
Most of them are paired up. Actually,
Yeah.
most of them are married, have kids,
Yeah.
have jobs, all that kind of shit.
That's who we're talking about. She's your age.
Yeah.
That's Bridget. See. Okay.
Victor says in Europe you don't need a car to go murder people. They have very good public transportation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like here, kind of. Well, it depends on where you live. In the South, you absolutely need a car because everything is super far apart. You know, and everything's like highways and stuff. And especially if you're gonna dump bodies and what. I'm not telling anybody to do this. I'm just saying that if you're gonna dump bodies and stuff, yeah, you need a car. You need a car, and don't rent a car because they have your name, dummy. Holy crap! I've watched like so many true crime shows where they were like, well, we didn't know it was this dude until we looked at the rental shit and then like his name was on it.
That's Bridget.
Oh, okay. Oh, she's doing crystal.
She's doing crystals. She makes jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see. Hold on. Okay, good. But no, Europe and the United States are not. They don't.
To be honest, I lived in the UK for a little while.
It does. It doesn't. It doesn't.
In the 90s, 2000s, I fucking loved that. I love that you could walk everywhere. I love that you could pick. I love that you didn't need a car. Here,
it's not the same situation.
you need a car. I mean, most cities. I mean, unless it's like a real city like New York City or Boston or something, like they have good public transport. In Florida, you need a car.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anywhere without a car. Everything is super far apart. The buses are laughable. The trains are laughable. You were never going to get any place.
No, going on a bus in Florida is like going to jail.
Yeah, well, I had to do it for a long time.
You're basically going to jail. It's bad.
I grew up in Daytona, and for a long time I didn't have a car because I couldn't afford one. So I did take a bus, and it's not great.
I used to take the train all the time.
And it took an hour and a half to get anywhere.
I used to take a train all the time in the fucking late 90s, mid-late 90s when I lived in Boston.
Gotta be.
Boston is in a series of states we call New England. And it was in those days in the 90s very much like England. It was kind of... and depending, you could have good public transportation. But the thing is that, and you hear Europeans, well, you got public transportation without public transportation. Public transportation only matters in little small areas. America's a lot bigger than that. You'll never have public transportation in the heartland of America. It's big. You're dealing with a country not as big as Russia, but very similar to like Russia. America has nothing to do with England or even Europe. The closest analogy would be Russia. And from a European point of view. Now, I also lived in Brazil. And America and Brazil are closer to each other than America and Europe. It's a very different environment. The New England states in the 90s, when I lived there, was very much like something you'd find out of England or the UK. But that just doesn't represent the rest of America. It's big. And things are spread out. It's not as densely populated The New England states are very densely populated. It is a UK type of situation.
We can get around a lot easier.
You can get around, but that's not what America's like. All right, and I've been all over America. Fucking the Midwest, the South, California, New England states. Each one of those are different. It's like different countries. So America doesn't really... It's not like Europe at all. It's more like Russia in general. From what I'm seeing of Russia. Or Brazil. It's more like Brazil, really, than anything else. It's a good place. It's just that each place has its own rules. And when you have a low population density, you'll never have public transportation. It doesn't work. There's not enough people doing it. The money isn't there.
All right, so where
Go ahead.
was
Go ahead.
I? Thank you. So they stopped this dude for jerking off in his car, which is where we got distracted. He didn't have anything, obviously, to back up what he was saying. No flashlight. It was, nighttime. He didn't have any tools for doing his brake pads or anything like that. Like, obviously. He was just jerking in his car. He was just trying to come up with some fucking reason. So, they're like, okay, so that's fishy. So, they brought him in and questioned him about the murders. And then they later booked him as a suspect. Now, after the task force was formed for these serial killings, at that stage, that was a little bit later, and he had actually been released and had gone back to where he was living at the time, which was in Sebring, Florida. And so they actually went there to question him again. He was living with his dad, who was like an old man. And at this stage, so they read him his rights. And they said, okay, so over a couple days when they had him in custody, because they were like, look, you're a suspect in all of these murders because it's a little weird. We found you like jerking off in the car, like right where we found some bodies. That's, that's very suspect. So during this questioning period, he admitted that, yeah, I go to black hookers all the time. And I know more than 100 girls. He said, yeah, I go to hookers all the time, he says. And he also admitted to being a huge drug addict. Crack, heroin, LSD, all the good shit. And so he also said during this questioning period that he had had a dream where he was being questioned about a bunch of murders and that he had admitted to going to the places where a lot of the bodies were found, which they thought was a little bit fishy. I mean, as you would. So they're like, okay, well, that's not really enough to hold anybody, but still. August 4th, 1987. A couple days after the questioning, he was let go. They didn't really have any evidence to hold him or anything like that. However, a couple days after they questioned him, he was brought in again for buying coke from an undercover cop. Like, near his home. Like, this is in Sebring, Florida. So, they bring him in, and they actually convicted him of that charge. So, he ended up spending about 3 months in jail, or getting sentenced to 3 months in jail for that charge, for buying the coke. Now, while he was in jail, some of his cellmates said that he had confessed to killing the sex workers in New Orleans. Now, one of them, whose name was Stan Hill, he went to the county prosecutor's office and said that this dude had told him in great detail how he had committed the crime. And also said that he had murdered a bunch of women in that area and hadn't been caught for it. And also said that he had, like, killed some women and driven them outside the city and dumped them. And he was, like, proud of it. He also said that he had offered some of the women a bunch of drugs, and some of them had overdosed. And then after they overdosed, he had strangled them and then dumped their bodies. Which, like I said, kind of checked out, because some of the victims, you know, when they autopsied them later, had, like, a whole bunch of, like, cocaine or other drugs in their systems, which were, like, enough for an overdose. So it's like that kind of tracked. Now, another inmate also said there was a fight between him and another inmate while he was in jail, and he allegedly said, I killed that N-word bitch, I'll kill you too. And several other inmates attested to that he had said that. And one other inmate said that he had committed more than 60 murders in Louisiana, and had, like, described one of them in detail to him. So this is all going on. So he's in jail for the drug charge. And then it comes to, in the timeline, where we're talking about the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
So August 13th, 1997, a anonymous person calls into the Howard Stern show and basically says that he's a serial killer. He says, call him Clay. And during this conversation, he described shit that was consistent. He said that he'd killed 12 women at this stage, which was less than however many they think this dude did. But it could have been, like I said,
it's within the
a couple
range.
different
It's within the
dudes,
range.
like I said.
Yeah.
So it could have been, sure. He gave some details about the background. He said he was a white dude. He said he lived in New Orleans.
But that he wasn't from there.
Yeah, and like I said, the real dude they caught later, like the dude they caught masturbating in his car, was from Ohio and then moved to New Orleans later, so that checked out. One of the things that struck me that he said during this call was that he didn't really have a motive for the killings. He just did it because he was bored.
And it was a power thing.
Yeah, he didn't really have any. Well, yeah. I mean, they kind of asked him about that. Yeah. Like he didn't give that information willingly. Like they asked him. Like Howard and Robin were asking, well, why'd you do it? Is it a power thing? Is it a race thing? Is it this and that and the other? And he didn't really seem to know. He just kind of seemed to.
Well,
he didn't really seem to know why.
The intent of his call to the Stern show was that he didn't know why he was doing what he was doing. He said, I don't really know why I'm doing it.
Yeah, I don't know.
He wanted to talk to Howard about it. I think it was him.
Like I said, it did seem kind of interesting. Like, he didn't come up with any, convoluted, weird, justifications or anything like that.
He was just like, I don't really know why I'm doing it.
I don't know why I'm doing it. He didn't give, any good reasons or nothing.
He was just like, I think it's a power thing.
And they suggested that. And then he's like, yeah, maybe.
And they were like, did you wet the bed? He's like, no, I didn't. Did you kill animals? No. And he goes, and they were like, what, your parents all fucking really fucked up? And he goes, no, not really.
They didn't. He said he didn't get abused or anything like that. Yeah. So.
Which a lot of that shit, it rang true with me.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to,
he wasn't making a sensational stare. He wasn't
trying to concoct some backhanded justification for why he was doing it. Like, these horrors, blah, blah, blah.
And he wasn't trying to make some kind of sensational story.
No.
He was just like, I don't know.
And that's the scary thing is that a lot of serial killers probably, they don't really think about it.
Yeah.
That's just some shit they do.
Yeah.
Then they go back to doing regular human stuff.
Yeah.
And then they do this shit, a few times a month. And it's and it doesn't really mean anything.
And Robin was like,
are
these white girls or black girls? And he goes, most of them were black girls. And then Howard was like, what's the race thing? And he's like, no. It's just that that's who approached me.
Yeah, he didn't really seem to like I said, if this is the same dude, which it might be, but it's just kind of
Yeah.
like he didn't really target
Any specific kind of woman, really.
anyone that was just
Yeah.
vulnerable in a vulnerable situation,
No.
like drug addicts or sex workers
It was
or
just
whatever.
whoever targeted him.
And whoever approached
Yeah.
his car.
Yeah.
He didn't kill them all, he said.
He said he
but
let some of them go.
He did let some of them go, he said.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, and they
Yeah.
asked him too, they were like, well, did they know that you were going to kill them? Like, did you say anything about it?
Yeah.
Like, did you get off on it? And he's like, yeah, sometimes I would tell them before I did it. And he's like,
Yeah.
well, what'd you say? And he's like, he couldn't really think of anything. He's like, well, give us an example. And he's like,
he didn't really want to.
he didn't really want to do that.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, I would just tell him, it's like, well, you're going to
You know the
die.
running game. You're gonna run. You better run now.
Yeah, like shit like
It's
that.
Shit, yeah. Because I'm
So-
gonna kill you. Right.
Yeah, I don't really know if
I'm
he
not
wanted
really
to-
sure if he was telling the truth during that point.
Maybe not.
I don't mean that this dude was 100% truthful. I'm just saying that a lot of the shit that he said sounded truthful.
Yeah.
I think most likely what had happened, and I'm not sure he was totally truthful about the hammer incident. I think the hammer, hitting with hammers, I think was more of a fantasy. I think maybe he did that a few times, but as the conversation went on, he dropped the whole hammer thing.
Because the thing about it is that a good ME will be able to tell the difference between beating with a hammer and beating with a fist. Obviously, those are two completely different types of wounds.
And he's also trying not to get caught and fingering himself.
That too.
So I think really what he was saying is that I like to hit him with a hammer. Maybe I hit some of them with a hammer, but most of them I strangled.
Yeah.
That's what I think he was saying.
And I mean that tracks.
That
Most
tracks
of them
with
were. A lot of them were
right,
beaten too.
Right. Hit him with fists and you strangle him. But that's.
But yeah, he would strangle most of them.
That's what I think it was.
That tracks like a lot of serial killers like to strangle victims. It's very intimate.
Yeah, he said
and
early,
it takes a long time to do.
He said
you can watch their face.
He was saying early on in the conversation, he said he hit him with a hammer, but the more he was questioned, he kind of dropped that. I think
he
that
didn't
was,
bring that up much later.
Yeah, I think that was just kind of he wanted to be known on the radio program for hitting him with a hammer. I don't think that's what he actually did. I think he strangled him.
Because hitting people with a hammer is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, you got to carry a hammer with you. And here's the thing: it is not. We've researched dudes that have hit bitches with hammers until they're dead. It's not a one-shot kill.
Not usually, no.
You got to continue to hit them, and you're popping holes in their skulls with a fucking hammer.
Yeah.
And it doesn't kill them, so they're hit many times.
That's what's messed up. I think a lot of people don't know. I'm not a serial killer, but I've like written a lot about a lot of like serial murders and stuff, and it's just kind of like hitting people with a hammer in the head and stabbing people.
Yeah, it takes a long
time. You have to do that.
Yeah. All this shit, she was stabbed 71 times.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it took.
Yep.
Because it's pretty...
I mean, that's horrible. It's horrible because it took like that. But yeah, it's like people don't die immediately.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
They have to die from blood loss, and that takes a long time.
And it takes a long time.
Yeah.
And that kind of fucks me up because like obviously they're suffering that whole fucking time. And when you beat somebody in the head with a hammer,
that doesn't really do much to them either.
Doesn't usually kill you. I mean,
it pops a hole in your skull.
That doesn't usually kill you immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to keep doing it over and over again.
Doesn't usually kill you.
And the dude that's doing it is like, damn, this bitch isn't dead yet.
They haven't been watching the same true crime shit I've been watching.
Right, yeah.
Because holy shit. Honestly, really, the only way, if you want to kill somebody like outright, just fucking shoot him.
Shoot him.
Right in the head.
Shoot him or strangle him.
Like if you're going to like stab him or beat him with a hammer.
Yeah.
That's going to take a while.
It takes too long.
And you're going to get blood all over you. And you're going to leave evidence all over that fucking scene.
Some of the offenders like to drag it out.
I know they do. I know.
But what's funny is that a lot of the offenders that are dragging it out claim that they want it to be done over quickly. I don't believe that. I don't really,
I don't believe
like,
that.
well, I thought it would kill her.
No. I don't think they believe that.
Fucking,
I think they get off on it. They get off on the suffering, obviously.
The most efficient way is strangulation.
Although still, strangulation
takes time,
a very long time.
Yeah, but you don't leave blood everywhere, the evidence.
You do leave telltale evidence though, because the bruising, like they can see that.
But it doesn't leave blood on the fucking on the murder site.
Like I said, you kill somebody with a hammer or something like that. Holy crap! You're gonna leave like a whole
messy.
It's a mess.
Yeah,
it's a mess. So it's just kind of, I mean, there's blood everywhere. So, and some of your blood is probably going to be mixed up with that, and maybe more so with stabbing, because you're going to get cut too, like in the fight.
Most
like
of your successful serial killers that are never caught or caught very late in their career, strangulation. That's usually how they do it. Your thighs are looking.
Well, and they usually leave the bodies where no one finds them for a long time.
Yeah.
And after a time, like obviously that body's going to be really decomposed or skeletonized, and it's like you're not going to be able to tell a lot of stuff. They can usually tell if you die by strangulation because of the hyoid bone, which is usually like broken, but or like fucked up looking, so they can tell. But it's just kind of like And I think that a lot of serial killers like that because, like I said, it's up close and personal. Yeah. It's up close and personal, but it's not super messy.
Right.
So I don't know. A lot of them seem to like that. But so this guy that called, we were kind of laughing earlier. I think I mentioned it, but he said on the Howard Stern show, whether it's the real guy or not, I don't know. But he said, well, I was thinking about, I wanted to leave a signature. Like, you know how serial killers, leave a signature? Yeah, and he's like, I wanted to leave his specific signature that he wanted to leave. At least this is what I gathered from what he said. Was that he wanted to leave, like a thumbprint, like a blood thumbprint, but from the victim on something. Like a piece of paper or whatever. And, he said that he got the idea from a comic that he read. And I think the video that I watched specified what comic it was, but I don't remember what it was right now. So he wanted to do that, but he's just like, he just never got around to it. And so I guess it wasn't that important to him to be, I don't know, identified. He's like, yeah, I thought about doing that, but it's like, nah, I just never got around to it. You know what I mean? It was like some kind of fucking... Serial killers are procrastinators, just like the rest of us. It's just like, that's fucking crazy. So, like I said, so Howard Stern, I listened to the whole exchange. And at first, you could tell, as you would, like, he was just kind of like, he didn't think this dude was legit, so he was just kind of goofing on it a little bit. Because he was just kind of like, this dude is not for real. You know what I mean? But later on, like, after the guy hung up, he's like, yeah, I think that dude was maybe the real deal. And he was trying to get him to turn himself in. And he was like, man, I'm going to get so many comments of, like, why didn't you do anything? He's like, what the fuck am I going to do? I don't know who the dude is. It's like, this is an anonymous phone call. And he's like, you know, I can't do anything about it. Now... like I said earlier, like, the dude said something on the show that he's like, yeah, I stopped killing, my car broke down. And I said, that's interesting because that kind of matched up with when Elwood got caught jerking off in the car and said that, oh, I was changing the oil or fixing the brake pads or whatever the fuck he's doing. And then, like, they searched his car and they didn't find any tools for that. But... that was kind of interesting that he brought that up. But like I said, I don't really know if that makes the story more likely or less likely. Because, like, he could have read about that somewhere. Because the dude's car wasn't really broken. He was just kind of trying to come up with an excuse why he was jerking it at the side of the road. You know? Oh, my car broke down. His car wasn't really broken, as far as I can tell. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. Now, when he called Howard Stern, this anonymous person, he said that it had been almost a year since he killed anyone. And he said he had a couple kids with his girlfriend who had lived with them for a while the murders were going on, but that they were not together anymore. So there was that. Also, they asked him, well, when was the last time you got laid? They didn't ask whether it was a hooker or not. Yeah. And he said last week. But he said he hadn't killed anybody for almost a year. Yeah. Like, he got laid, he said, like, consensually. Or paid, which I guess is kind of
That's consensual.
low-key consensual.
Yeah. No, it's consensual.
Yeah. I mean, you
They're
paid
doing
to...
they're doing a transaction.
Yeah.
Transactional.
But like I said, there's transactional, and then there's like, hey, you pay me to do this shit, and then you're doing this other shit. That's not transactional anymore. Because you're doing some other shit that's not paid for. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if that dude was like for real or what. Now, because of this, so a lot of people complained about the dude that called in. It was like, what the fuck is that about? That might be a real serial killer. You should really look into that. So the FBI was very interested, and they looked into the shit and tried to trace the calls. And because Howard said, like, look, I can't trace the calls. I don't have any, like, tracing equipment, like, in my shit. He's like, I can't even get my rail phone shit to work. Like, you know, he was all that about. So in the aftermath, I do kind of feel like a lot of people thought that he had made the whole thing up for publicity. So there was that, or for ratings or whatever. Now, the thing about it was that when the call occurred, Elwood, who they think may have at least killed at least one of the people, was in jail. So, I mean, he could have called from the prison. That's not, I mean, you can call from prison. So, yeah. I don't know if they recorded it. It's not, I mean, usually they record it. He was in jail, though. Now, Elwood did get released, and he went to live with his brother, and his brother gave him a job. And then at this point, they kind of tracked him down again, because they're like, what is that about? With like the call with the Howard Stern show. And now they're kind of like interested, like anew. So they interviewed him again, in the presence of this guy that was kind of like, a dude that was like a big kind of guy, like on the homicide unit in Cincinnati. Because that's where he was from, was Ohio. Now, during this interrogation, Elwood did, at first, he denied saying anything. Because remember how I said earlier that he'd said to other inmates, it's like, oh yeah, I killed that black girl or whatever. Then he's like, no, man, I never said that. You know, you're high, whatever. But then, after they played the audio back to him, because they had taped it, he was like, okay, yeah, maybe I did say that. And he's like, also, he confessed to killing another black girl, and said that he had dumped her body in a canal. Now, they didn't record that confession, sadly. And because they didn't record it, Elwood later said, I never said that. And they didn't have any proof. You know what I mean? And then he said, well, I'm mentally ill, so you can't take anything I say at face value, pretty much. So yeah. And I was just like, I was showing off. That's what he said. And basically he's like, look, I'm going to go back to New Orleans to my lawyer, and I need to go get mental health treatment. That's what I said. They said no. And then he supposedly confessed to killing 2 women, Lewis and Mac. But then he said that he wouldn't be audio taped confessing to it. And then afterward, he said, I never said that.
Yeah, he retracted.
Yeah.
Good. So
eventually, they let him out in January of 1998. And he goes back to New Orleans. Now, January 16th of 19... What are you doing?
What is that on the ground? Oh, okay.
It's just my chair.
Okay. Yeah.
Quit distracting me.
No, I saw that pattern right there. It was
just broken up.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. Where was I? Okay. So, January 16th, 1998, he gets stopped by traffic cops for speeding. And he was supposed to show up in court, but he didn't show up. And then they arrested him for contempt of court. Now, eventually, they did find him, and they convicted him for the earlier charge. And he was in there for 120 days. While he was in jail, he confessed to murdering those two women, Lewis and Mack. And that was in March of 1998. So they're like, okay, we're going with that. So he went to trial in June of 1999. And during this, they had a whole bunch of like former cellmates, other prostitutes, stuff like that had known him. And like they had so much fucking evidence, like so many, well, circumstantial evidence because it was like witness statements and stuff. But it's like people came forward and said, all these former cellmates had said, yeah, he said that he confessed to these killings while he was in jail. He had raped and murdered all these women. And this one woman who was a former sex worker said to the court at the time, she's like, yeah, I've known this dude since the early 1990s and went out with him for, regularly, like for a time. And she's like, during one date, he was like super hopped up on drugs and he assaulted and beat and strangled her until she was unconscious. And then she woke up and she was in a pool of blood in some like weird fucking place she didn't know, like in the middle of the woods or something. So he just like dumped her out there. So there was that.
That's some serial killer shit right there.
Well, yeah, and like I said, she's like, well, I didn't report it at the time because like I was a hooker and a drug addict, so obviously I'm not gonna fucking report that shit. Well, like I said, that kind of happened a lot with this shit. She's like, yeah, I didn't report it at the time, but that's what happened. Now there was another woman who was also a sex worker and a stripper. She said that she had been beaten and assaulted by him twice, and he also attempted to strangle her. There was another former sex worker who said that she'd met him in the early 90s at a gas station, and he was working as a cab driver, which, like I said, he did at the off and on at the time, and said that he was super nice to her at first, like he'd bought her some food and like was super nice to her, and then she got in the car with him because he was cool and drove her to his house, and then it's like, hey, let's do some coke, and she's like, okay. And then they did that, and then he started beating the shit out of her. And then she ran away. So there was that. And again, she did not report this because she had a criminal record, so she thought nothing would happen. You know what I mean? There was another woman named Antoinette Rainey, who was actually a drug dealer in this area at the time. And she said that this dude was a regular customer of hers, always bought drugs from her. And she said at one time, he made her get into his car at gunpoint, drove her to like a highway underpass, and then raped and beat her, and then took all her money. And also threatened to kill her. And she got away eventually, but again, she did not report it because she was also engaged in illegal activities. So there was that. Now, there were at least three witnesses that said that they had seen Elwood with Cheryl Lewis, one of the people that was murdered, shortly before she disappeared. And she had been seen with him like on multiple occasions. And he was, driving a cab at the time, and she'd seen him in the cab. And again, she did not report this at the time because she was a drug dealer and didn't want anybody to know about it. So there was all that shit going on. So, like I said, a lot of people saw him with the victims. You know what I mean? That's all we can say. I'm getting kind of drunk, so it's just kind of like I'm getting to a point where it's like I'm almost at the end. But you know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people saw him with some of the victims, is what I'm saying. So now Elwood, they asked him about it, and he's like, "Well, I don't know any of those people, blah blah blah." But at the same time, he also didn't have a good story about where he was at the same time. He didn't have an alibi, and so that's not great. And honestly, his defense attorney tried to argue that he wasn't even in New Orleans at the time that the murders happened. That it's like, oh, he was in Ohio visiting family, blah, blah, blah. But the weird thing about it was that they said, okay, so one thing about this Elwood dude, for whatever reason, perhaps because he was up to nefarious business, it's like he always kept receipts and like anything that would prove his whereabouts at any given time, because you never know when you might need that, you know. However, at the time period when the murders happened, surprisingly, those receipts were not forthcoming. Like, they couldn't find them. So they thought that was a little strange. Now, there was a little bit of controversy later where, like, one of the attorneys, I think, like, got accused of, like, destroying the evidence. And so there was, like, all kind of shit about that. But, you know, so that was the whole thing. Now, in the end, he did actually get convicted of one murder. The murder of Cheryl Lewis. Not Dolores Mack, like they dismissed those charges. But he did get convicted of murdering Cheryl Lewis. And he did get sentenced to life imprisonment without parole in August of 1999. Now, so he went to prison and he actually died in prison in 2014. He consistently denied killing the other victims. However, a lot of witnesses did say he knew them and he moved in the same circles. I don't know. So it could be. Now, as of now, all of the other murders, other than that one, are unsolved officially. Elwood is pretty much a suspect in most of the other killings. But obviously he's dead now. They can't really file any charges against him. And honestly, they don't really know if that dude... And like the thing, I talked about Victor Gant, the cop from earlier, who fit the description of some of the victims that got away. And it's like, and it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility that he might have done some of the shit too, allegedly. But it's like they don't really know. That dude, you know, he was reinstated, but then like later he moved to Atlanta. They don't know where he lives now. They're presuming he still lives there. But he knew a lot of the victims also, and so they're not really sure. So they're not really sure if, because some of the victims did report a big muscular black man, but then again, the dude that they suspect of doing some of the murders is kind of a scrawny white dude. So they're not really sure if it's more than one person.
Yeah, it's more than one person, probably.
Like I said, it might be a Texas killing field situation where
Right.
there's like 4 or 5 serial killers going on, and like
in the
only
same area.
only a couple of whom they've caught.
Right.
Even though, here's the thing, most of the crime, because like I said, we're looking at about 26, 27 murders that are similar in MO, similar enough that they think it might be the same dude.
It's a couple of guys.
But just like in the Texas killing fields, like serial killers tend to do the same kind of shit. Like rape and strangulation, that is a classic serial killer move. You know what I mean? They all seem to be really into that shit. And like I said, if they don't have any really very specific signature, then that could be
several dudes.
Anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, not anybody, but it could be any serial killer.
It wouldn't surprise me is if we're talking about 2 or 3 guys in this area.
It could be, yeah.
Doing this. And the one dude who called Stern was one of them. That's what I think. That's kind of how I think
Yeah, did he do all of them? Maybe not, but it's
not
like
all of them.
he
He did
knew
some of
enough
them.
details about
some of them.
some of them that it wouldn't shock me if that was that dude.
Yeah.
Was that the same Elwood dude that went to prison later for one
Probably
of them?
not. No.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
I don't know.
Probably not.
I don't know.
I think we're talking about several guys in the same area.
Which is
A couple
terrifying.
of white ones and a black one.
That's terrifying.
That's probably what it was.
I think maybe they were originally looking at a black dude because the first woman that got away, I mean, she described that dude to them.
Yeah.
But that dude, the cop, allegedly, might not have been even the murderer. He might have got off on like beating up sex workers.
He might have been roughhousing some of them.
Which is also not great, but
Strong,
it's like, was he
strong
the
arm
serial
rape.
killer? I don't know.
Strong arm rape. He's
And
a
also
cop,
probably
he's
he
trying to get
punched his girlfriend in the face.
Yeah.
So also not great.
So that guy might not have been a killer. Yeah, you don't know, but
Yeah,
we're
you don't
talking. this phenomena happening in New Orleans, I guarantee you that's 2 or 3 guys.
But see, that's the kind of shit. That's why the
Yeah.
Texas killing field shit
Right, yeah.
always freaked me out, because it's like, that's at least 4 or 5 different dudes doing the same shit
In the same area.
in the same area.
Around in the same time span.
And it's just, and they can't tell the difference because
They're similar.
the MO
Yeah.
is so similar. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're raping and strangling these bitches, and we're just like dumping them like
Yeah.
in a fucking desert or a swamp somewhere.
Yeah, and what's funny is that...
That's horrifying.
I don't want to say it's funny, but
It's
what's
not funny.
weird is that the dudes that are doing this know that there are other dudes doing it in this area. How much I bet they're
know.
like in a competition. Like, oh, I didn't kill that one. I wonder
Probably.
who that is killing that one. And they're probably all wondering who it is. Each killer is probably wondering who the other killer
It's
is.
not fucked up. They
They're
probably
like,
are.
Yeah, they're like, I wonder...
Because I'm sure they know.
Yeah, they're like, I wonder what that dude's doing. Who is that dude?
To me, that kind of
I think they were all truckers.
that kind of shit scares me even worse, because it's like, look, if you have one very obvious serial killer that's like leaving very obvious signatures and stuff like that, it's like, oh, obviously that's one dude.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like Texas killing fields,
Yeah,
this
it's a
kind of
couple of
shit. Like,
Yeah.
this might be more than one. I mean,
Yeah.
this might be 3-4 dudes. You don't know.
The Texas
That's
killing,
a lot of women.
The Texas killing field phenomenon.
They think that's at least 4 or 5 dudes.
Yeah. The Texas,
They've caught a couple of them.
the Texas killing field phenomenon. I think it's like 3 or 4 truckers.
Yeah, that's That's
I think
obviously
they're truckers
Yeah.
doing it, and I think they know about each other. I don't think they know each other directly, but they know each other exist.
And it's like,
Yeah,
they're in
like,
some kind of weird
They're probably
competition.
like competition. They're like laughing about it. Like, yeah, there's more of us. We're out there. We're all doing.
See,
it.
that kind of shit
Yeah.
horrifies me even more, because it's
Yeah.
like, that's so banal.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
kind of like regular kind of shit,
Yeah,
you know? And it's
like
just
we're
that
putting
is-
we're
that is
putting
so messed
we're
up.
putting a hurting on these hookers. Yeah, these
That is
lot
so messed up.
lizards. Yeah,
These
that's,
poor fucking women that are just trying to make some fucking money.
yeah, and like
to buy
lot
some
lizards
drugs.
are like the bottom of the prostitution hierarchy. Those poor girls are fucking like really hurting for money, and they tend to be destitute, traveling all around, and yeah. But you got guys that are like victimizing them. I don't really understand it. It's got to be a beta type fucking power trip.
I
Because
can't
why
imagine.
would you want to take a woman who's like so down on her luck? Why would you see her as a threat enough to kill her? I don't.
I don't think they see them as a threat.
Or they see them as maybe food. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't understand. They don't want to pay them. What is it?
I don't really understand, like, well, because, I don't know, like, I guess because I'm a normal ass person
Yeah.
with normal ass empathy, which a lot of
Yeah.
these dudes obviously do not have. So it's just kind of like, I don't understand why you would see somebody vulnerable.
Yeah.
I'm going to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
Like, is that the
because-
first thing you jump to? I would never think of that.
Because the lot.
But evidently some people do.
The lot lizard situation here in the United States is that you're a trucker. You're going to do some fucking running from between one point and another, a lot of driving. And you got a woman who's, she's kind of down on her luck, and she's going to fucking jump in the truck with you and talk with you and fucking, you know, she's going to hang out with you during the trip and fucking give you benefits.
Sure.
You know? What's the problem?
Yeah, I mean,
Why do you want to kill her?
she's just trying to make some money.
Yeah. She's trying to make money. She didn't have where to go.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
benefiting from it.
Yeah, and
So why would you kill her?
you're lonely. You want to talk with her, and fucking you have fucking companionship during the and maybe some adventure during the travels. Why do you want to kill her? I don't really understand it.
I don't
you know
know.
what I mean? Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, and she's basically a hitchhiker.
Yeah.
You know. So, you
Like
know,
I said, I don't really understand the whole mentality that, like,
yeah,
immediately wanting to take advantage of somebody
yeah,
that is
or
in a vulnerable position.
or
That's a really messed up.
yeah, or to kill someone who's not a threat. I mean,
Yeah, you have a fucking problem.
yeah, you got a fucking big problem.
You have a fucking
I
problem.
come from a military background, and fucking, you know, we're trained to fucking kill other fucking armed soldiers on a battlefield, and killing people is normal. You know what I mean? But there are other professionals, and if civilians get in the way, yeah, fuck them too. That's an enemy civilian. All right, but some chick that's jumping in the truck with you, you know what I mean, to take a ride with you and fucking
And
she's
you're
hungry
paying her,
and she's poor.
presumably,
Yeah, she's poor
to
and
give you a good time.
Yeah, and you're feeding her and you're gonna have fun with her, fucking during the trip, and maybe you'll pass her on to somebody else. What's the problem? I don't understand it.
No, I don't either.
I understand it. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. What, you have some kind of Madonna whore complex? Or like, well, she's not mine, and fucking, but she's a bad girl. I don't fucking. You're not a good dude.
Clearly.
So you know what I mean? Fucking, she's just having fun. You're working. What?
See,
I
here's
don't
the
get
thing.
it.
Dudes like that.
Look, I'm gonna defend. A lot of these dudes doing this are truckers, but most truckers don't do that.
No, of course not.
Most truckers are good
But
dudes.
the thing about it is that there's
don't
a
look at it
weird
that way.
there's a weird thing about where dudes think that like they have dude morality,
Yeah.
and it's like not the same
Yeah.
as women morality. It's like they can dictate. Like,
Yeah.
we're allowed to do this and that. We can fuck around however we want, but
Yeah.
you're not allowed to.
Right. It's weird.
And that
thinking.
is a very weird.
Because if you take that same fucking
very
dude,
weird.
if you take that same asshole dude who's killing these women and put him in a female body in that same female fucking situation where she's trying to survive on her own and she can't do it with brawn or intimidation. She can only do it with fucking charm.
You got to do it the way you got to do
You
it.
know what's
You got to make money somehow.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've all fucking been there. Like, I haven't been there.
It's
I'm
but I
but
don't
like
understand.
I
I can understand it.
how that can happen.
I totally understand it.
understand
If
how
I
that
wasn't a brawny motherfucker, then I couldn't make a living doing what I do. You know what I
I
mean?
grew up fucking poor. I understand
Yeah.
how that could
Right.
very easily.
So you have
very
some
easily.
women are going to try to make a living entertaining guys using what she can offer because she doesn't have anything else. And
Right.
I don't see.
And I don't see a
I
problem.
don't see a problem.
with that.
I don't see a problem.
I don't have a problem with that.
That's why all that shit should be
I
legal.
don't think less of them. I don't really think.
All that shit should be legalized.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really
it should.
don't. And
It would make it a lot safer. Like I
and it
said.
should be kind of destigmatized
Yeah.
because it's entertainment.
Sure.
It's the same thing an actor does, or it's just another form of it's sexual entertainment. But what's wrong with that? That's the oldest fucking gig known to man.
And like I said, a
being
lot of people will do that
Yeah.
willingly.
And being a soldier, I'm an ex-soldier in the infantry. It's the same thing as hooking.
Sure.
Women will fuck an old man for money. Dudes will kill the old man's enemies for money. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
I mean, you don't gotta get fucked in the ass, though.
Young men killing old men's enemies for money. Young women fucking old men for money. It's the same. You're selling your body.
Yep.
It's just, and you can both get killed doing it.
Yep.
But there's no reason to fucking punish these women
No,
who are
absolutely not.
down on their luck.
That's why I get bummed out because, like I
Yeah.
said, I write a lot about true crime, and it's like, and
Yeah.
it seems like but especially in this case too, like in a lot of cases, maybe less so in this
Yeah.
case because they did actually form a task force and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just like if the victims are sex workers or drug addicts or whatever, they usually don't. They seem not to try as hard.
I'm gonna defend the police with that. Okay, they're sex workers and they're drug addicts, but they're drug addicts first, and they need money a lot of times, and they can't
These are
hold a
fucking
job.
people, though.
So then they become sex workers, which is easier to maintain under that.
These are fucking people.
They're still
though.
people. Okay,
They have parents and sisters and brothers
Right,
and
right.
like fucking Jesus Christ.
Right,
They don't deserve to get fucking murdered.
right, yeah. So they're
Just like anybody else.
they're so. Oh shit! I forgot where I was going with this shit, but fucking drunk. No, just because they're drug addicts, they become sex workers. That doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means that they have a drug problem.
They're just desperate.
and they
That's all.
have to make some kind of way. Not all sex workers are like that. Some sex workers are fucking, I mean, they're not,
Well,
drug,
some
but
of
they're
them
very
choose
high end,
it.
and then this is something that they've done. But this is more of a fucking an entertainment thing, and traditionally in America that was all legal back in the 1700s. If a woman wanted to sell herself, that's all she had, she could do it. That was legal. It wasn't until really the fucking early 1900s all that stuff became legalized.
That's what
Which
kind
I don't
of,
really who are they to tell a woman what she can do with her body?
Well, and here's another thing
I
that
don't really
bothers
understand.
me is that there's a lot of dominoes that fall in the wake of that.
Yeah.
is that, and we see that in this case too, is that a lot of women that were victimized by this possible serial killer didn't report it because it's like they were also engaged in illegal activity. It's like, well, no one would believe me or no one would do anything. So it's just kind of so they didn't report it.
Right.
And I think that's kind of the issue. Like, if it was legalized and regulated, like alcohol or anything like that, it would be much safer. Because, like, if some shit like this happened, you could report it and the police would maybe actually do something about it.
Well, here's
in an ideal world.
Here's another thing, fucking,
probably
relatives of mine that come from special operations fucking backgrounds, like Task Force 160, Special Operations Aviation. Fucking friends of mine who fucking ended up in prison doing fucking mercenary work. Fucking weird. It's all mercenary work. Or contracting. With men, it's going to be security and defense contracting. You're being paid under contract to fight the old man's enemies in one way or another. Even if you're just training somebody to fight the old man's enemies. With women, it's going to be to fuck the old man. Fighting or fucking. It's always that same primal thing that causes humans to run. I don't really see a big difference. With fucking male security contracting, it's, I would say, morally worse. You're killing people. The hookers aren't killing people. They're just making people come. What the fuck is the problem? Dude, I mean, this is something that they have to do to fucking make a living because they don't have anything else to offer. And what they offer might be good. Leave them fucking girls alone. And the Madonna whore complex with some of these dudes, I think these are fucking retro guys. I don't think it's as bad as fucking with the modern guys. I don't think they're from Gen X and lower. I don't really think they have the same attitude.
It's not quite the same. Although there is a contingent of younger dudes that have this same kind of shit.
Depending on what culture they come from.
Which is sad.
Maybe. But I don't really think it matters. Who cares? Who cares what some chick does? She's not hurting anybody.
I'm not really bothered, honestly. It's just kind of like some dudes will get all upset about women's body count. They don't get upset about dudes' body count, of course. Like, the higher that is, that's fine. But it's just like if a woman has one that's like in the double digits, oh my god.
I don't really understand what it is. I think it's kind of a deal where dude who he hasn't been laid a whole lot, and he sees some other chick, and she's been laid a lot, and she's like, that is a woman that could have gone to me, but she's going to these other dudes.
She wouldn't have gone to you, bro.
Yeah, that's probably not what would have happened. So,
I mean,
no.
You're just a loser, and you need to work on yourself, is all that says to me.
Yeah, some woman who's out there selling it, that's not for you anyway. So what's your fucking problem? You know,
I don't really get it. Well, I think that is a symptom.
Yeah.
Of dudes wanting to control every aspect.
They try to control the pussy.
Chicks' behavior.
They're gonna try to defend the pussy and control the pussy. That's not your pussy to begin with. But that's
they don't
the girl's the pussy,
baby.
It doesn't belong to you.
Those are human beings.
Yeah.
Just like you are.
Yeah.
And
it's a weird.
Yeah, they don't seem to realize that,
thing.
which is really fucking strange.
I'm just so happy that you might have some fucking like feminist chicks fucking look at me and whatever. Oh, that fucking sexist pig. No, you don't fucking know me. I give a fuck. I can't understand dudes that are like that. I don't care.
And like, look, I consider myself a feminist.
Yeah. I just don't care because women are sovereign and I'm sovereign. I can do what I want with my body, and women could do what she wants with her body. And
you're pretty like.
I'm pretty open about
You're not like controlling about what I do with my shit or anything like that.
No.
You're not really.
You can do what you want. You are you and I'm me and fucking we're having fun. Yeah. We're partners. But the thing is that why would the fucking I care about some other bitch I'm not even fucking related to? I don't care what she does.
Well, see, that's
I
what I don't
understand that. Yeah.
I don't get why, because it seems to me like a lot of these people are crying.
Yeah.
are worrying about people that have nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
Would never meet them in real life.
Yeah.
Would never fuck them in real life, even if they did know them. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, why do you care what that person is
doing? Yeah.
doing? Like, I don't.
Bee's nest is passing out again.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I literally give zero. I give zero thought to what other people are doing in their relationships or in their bedrooms, or y'all can do whatever the fuck as long as everyone is consenting adults. I do not give a crap. I really don't. And I really wish that more people could. I don't really understand why people are so concerned about what other people are up to. I literally do not care. I don't care. And most people should not care. They shouldn't care. It doesn't have anything to do with you. Nothing to do with you. Full Metal Nosferatu, I showed up. It says, Happy Hump Day. Sorry I haven't been around the last few... Have you not? I thought you were here last time. Okay, maybe not. Busy with one of the movies I've been doing. Okay, well, that's fair enough. But I thought you were here, though. I just forgot. I forgot. But like I said, so... What are we talking about? So this motherfucker... Okay, so the dude that was convicted of one of the murders died in 2014. Did he do the other ones? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how I fall on this. Was this all this one motherfucker? I don't think so. I think it was more than one person. Because a couple of the bodies they found were very, very decomposed. And so I don't really know if they could, associate them with the other ones, because it's like, I don't know if they knew how close the shit was associated. So
I'm so hungry.
Are you?
You hungry?
Yeah.
I got all kinds of Indian food I made. I got sandwiches down there.
You want to make some sandwiches?
I got fucking cold cuts. I got chicken sandwiches.
What you want to make?
It's up to you. What you want? You want turkey and ham sandwich or?
Yeah, do something cold.
I got that. Yeah.
All right. You got like pickles, tomatoes.
Yeah, I got all that. Fucking mayo. You want some honey mustard on it?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
All right. Just pickled mayo.
Just pickle and mayo.
You want any sriracha on it?
No.
Okay.
That will just give me heartburn.
Okay.
It will wake me up all night.
All right.
All right.
So go ahead
So
and shut that shit down, then, Jen.
what do you think, Tom?
What's that?
Do you think that the white dude that got incarcerated and died in 2014 was the dude that killed all these people?
And was he the same guy that called Howard Stern?
Yeah. Do you think?
Probably not. I think it was two different guys. I think the guy that fucking.
Which, like I said, he's even scarier.
I think we're talking about 3 or 4 different guys.
It may be.
I think the dude that called Howard Stern was a serial killer. I think the other guy who fucking got convicted was a serial killer, but I'm not sure they're the same ones. There's not enough fucking evidence. We need DNA evidence, and it's just
Yeah, it might not be the same dude.
They didn't do.
Which, like I said, that's.
I think we're talking about, like you said, like a Texas killing field type situation where there was like 3 or 4 guys.
Yikes.
That was just my take on it.
I kind of thought that too, but it's like, man.
And there might have been some mix-ups over who killed who.
Yeah. Because, like, hey.
And you're dealing with no arms.
What's strangling one hooker?
Yeah.
Between friends.
You're
right?
You're dealing with Louisiana. All right.
Sure.
I know the area. I live in that area. Fucking my cousins are from there. Fucking, it's a fucking. I'm not going to say that it's a bad law enforcement area. They meet well. It's just that, especially during this era we're talking about.
This is early 90s.
Yeah, they're kind of fucking in turmoil. They're not real well put together law enforcement agencies. You had good people in there, but you had a lot of bad people, and some people just didn't give a shit in those law enforcement agencies.
That happens in every
Yeah.
job position. Sure.
So I think I think we're talking about 3 or 4 different offenders. That's what I think.
I kind of feel like there's more than one.
Yeah.
In this situation.
And there might have been some confusion about who did what.
Because, like I said, some of the victims that escaped described a different
people.
Dude than the white dude.
You're right.
Although I do think the white dude was probably responsible for more murders than he got convicted for.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
But
we'll never know.
The cop, I'm not letting him off the hook, though.
Yeah.
Because I think he might have done some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. But I'm just saying. All right, so we're gonna.
Nosferatu's here. Yeah, probably seen two more nights of filming. Tom, I still haven't seen the hand yet. Oh no, bro, you gotta see the hand.
Oh my god, the hand is so good.
One of my favorite movies. Grew up watching that shit. It's a great horror movie. Oliver Stone.
That was like his first movie, right?
Oliver Stone.
That was his first
okay.
movie,
With old what's his name? The fucking British
Michael
dude.
Caine.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
You're not gonna be able to beat it.
Psychological horror.
Much better than Friday the 13th. Even though I liked those two, it was just it was more intelligent. It was a more intelligent flick. Is this bitch some kind of fucking psychic who can kill people with psychic forces, or is there really a hand running around killing people, or is it all in his imagination? Is he just doing it? And he's thinking
I think it's the third thing.
I don't know. Because the psychologist got killed.
I know, but I still think
out of
it's the third thing.
It's left up to you. Oliver Stone did a good job of leaving it ambiguous. I think he was a psychic killer. That's what I think.
It's open to that interpretation.
Yeah,
I still think it was the third thing.
He could kill people with psychic forces. He was a Sith. That's what basically.
Okay.
It was about jealousy and control. Controlling his woman with his hand. And he was
fucking the yoga instructor.
Yeah, and he was drawing
he was like
Conan.
hotter.
Yeah.
And nicer to her.
Yeah, and he was he's supposed to be the he's drawn a fucking cartoon character called Mando, but they're talking about Conan. Mandro. Yeah. Mandro. But they're talking about.
They couldn't say Conan.
But they're talking about Conan because during that time, Oliver Stone and fucking the dude did for Conan 1. They were working on a movie together. What was his name? Fucking shit. Dude did Conan 1. Oh man, same guy that did fucking. He's behind Apocalypse Now. Shit. Fuck, I forgot his name.
I'm gonna lay.
No, fucking. He's a really good Jewish American director. He fucking did the damn Green Beret. He wore a Green Beret. What was his name? And his daughter. Fuck. You don't remember who I'm talking about?
I'm just like
you
waiting
normally
for
you fucking.
I'm waiting for you to come up with something.
He was. Who directed Conan 1? Man, the name is just fucking.
I'm drunk too. I can't remember.
That's the guy I'm thinking of. It's all right, go ahead. Let's go.
Pull one on
no, not Coppola. Not Coppola. Coppola worked with him. It was Oliver Stone. Milius. John Milius. John Milius was actually a genius behind a lot of those movies. He wrote some fucking badass screenplays, did some good fucking direction. But out of all those guys, even though I'm a big fan of Stone, Stone and Milius were a great team. The one movie with fucking that we saw, fucking, it was actually John Milius was they based one of the characters on him. Fuck. What was the name of that movie? Fucking the dude's out in California hanging out. Fucking kind of the hippie guy. And then the paramilitary guy that would come in. Shit. I'm fucking drunk and I can't remember.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even be mentioned in these fucking movies when I'm in this shape.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
We saw a movie.
I could normally help you, but I don't know what you're talking about.
We saw a movie that it was an all-star cast back in the fucking 80s or 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And the dudes would go bowling. The great Lebowski. Big Lebowski.
That was the Coen brothers.
It's the Coen brothers. One of the characters from Big Lebowski, the fucking Vietnam veteran guy, was actually based on John Milius.
Yeah.
That's the way he was. Even though he wasn't a veteran, he just...
You're out of your depth, Donnie.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, the guy that was played... Yeah.
Yeah. It was based on Milius. That's the way Milius was. He was very patriotic kind of military guy. Very kind of like right-wing kind of guy. Fucking, I wouldn't call him a conservative. He's just more of like a right-wing radical kind of guy. And he was a good character. The Big Lebowski. Great movie. We had one of our fucking viewers send us that or reviewed it.
I have loved every single Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah. Good movie. They're good.
Honestly, Racing Arizona is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I remember that one too. Big Lebowski. What I liked about Big Lebowski is it's a good-natured flick.
All of their movies are very good-natured.
Good-natured flick.
Well,
they're
kind of.
Yeah.
Kinda.
But they're just kind of showing everybody as kind of like they're good. They might be different than you, but they're okay. You know what I mean? It's just they all have their own.
Well, and the shit's exaggerated, but not that.
Not that much though. Yeah,
Not that much.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Not that much.
All right, let's go ahead and shut it down. We'll get some of the
All right, we're gonna wrap
Millions.
this up.
Yeah.
John
Full Metal.
Williams.
He knows what I'm talking about. Stone did some screenwriting for Scarface. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you know what I'm talking about, bro. See the Hand.
That's a good flick. It was based on a book.
Yeah.
The book was called what? The Lizard's Tale or something like that. I can't remember who wrote it.
It's a creepy movie.
It's
deep. It's very
there's a lot of shit going on with that.
There's a lot, yeah.
Oliver Stone's first film.
Yeah.
And there's some shit going on with like kind of drawing a parallel. Well, okay. Showing a contrast between toxic masculinity
and positive masculinity.
and actual positive masculinity.
Conan was positive masculinity. The fucking Hand is toxic masculinity.
Oh, big time.
And you'll like it. And fucking Stone and Milius were fucking painting two different pictures, but they were on the same page. You'll like it. And
I love that
Conan
movie.
is referenced, basically.
Yeah.
Mandro, but
yeah, he's the main character is like he's a cartoonist.
Yeah.
And he draws a very Robert E. Howard-ish cartoon that is obviously meant to be based on Conan, but it's called something else.
And he's got a younger hot wife who's leaving him.
Yeah, because she's into her yoga instructor.
She's into the yoga instructor. Because dude is too fucking rigid. All right, and you'll see.
She can't deal.
Yeah, but he's got this. Fucking,
I get it.
But
can't deal.
But dude is like down with the dark side. He's got this fucking toxic masculinity energy that's killing people. But you just got to see it, man.
I like that they left it ambiguous.
It's ambiguous. Was he doing that
or
physically, or was it psychic ability? Like the dark side of the Force.
I kind of feel like maybe it was in his imagination, but
I don't know. Some of that
you
shit,
could read it like either way.
It might have had a little bit of both. I mean, he was in a fucking...
You could read it either way.
He was in a mental institution tied to a chair and he killed that woman. She did loosen one hand, though.
That's what I'm saying.
So there is
so
some
it's like
way out.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just kind of like,
know.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
And I love that they left it like that.
Yeah, you never know.
I love that they left it like that.
Okay, go ahead. Shut it down, Jen.
All right, we're shutting it down. We got to go eat.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us this evening. Thank you for your super chats. We'll be back again Friday night for our sidetrack show, which has no topic. We just drink and talk about whatever bullshit you guys want to talk about within reason. So, yeah. Thanks, everybody, hanging out with us this evening. We're going to knock it off. Have a good day tomorrow. Have a good day on Friday. We will see you guys again on Friday night.